I need to check if I'm up live on my phone. I don't know if you could check.
I'll have a look.
Hello, are we live? I think we're live, everybody. I've had a little bit of bad news tonight. I've been told that George couldn't make it. He had to, I'm going to have to reschedule it all. I'm really sorry something happened, so he's not been able to make it, but we were going to have Gary jump on anyway to help me because he always does. I was going to surprise him, but so he's come on a little bit earlier, and we're going to just like chew your heads off and talk a bit about paranormal again. And thank you, Hunters Couches, is it from Matt? Yeah, thank you for coming over. I really appreciate it. Oh, the Secret Vault. Yeah, hi Matt. He's on Secret Vault. Yeah, I got let down, but it's not a problem because I've got some good friends that help me, and we're going to just chat and chew your ears off. I thought we were talking about before we come on about certain things that you should do in the paranormal, not do in out of respect. Like I said, when I do my exploring, I went to a building where a boy passed away. I had a seizure, and out of respect, I didn't do paranormal. And we were just discussing, when is it? Do you think we should, overstep the line? Should we keep it private? And things like we were talking about the malls and stuff, in families, places like that you want to investigate. Do we keep it to ourselves, or do we go and do it? Or places we know that there have been really bad murders, so with exploring, do we go in there and go and explore and do paranormal? So that's just what I don't know. If Gary, you want to introduce yourself, I'll let you do that bit. What you do, we've got loads of people on.
Yeah, good evening, welcome for joining, and thanks for having us on. I'm Garry Fields, spiritualist medium, Reiki master or practitioner. Been around the paranormal world for about the last 10, 11, 12 years, and just enjoy every minute of it. So it does feel like we've all had our shackles put on, and it's just be nice to get out and about again there. So I have experienced quite a lot with high energies to low level energies all the way through the realm, and dealt with quite a few serious situations as well, and lovely situations as well on the investigation. So we just never stop learning, and that's what I enjoy doing.
So I'll go back over to me. Yeah, so we've got quite a few urban explorers on here tonight. They've come out and helped me. Loads have come up. We've got about 36 people viewing already. I've been sent some help. I think it might be down to Matt. But yeah. So what do you think about, say, us urban explorers going into places that say there's been a murder or a family involved? What do you think? Do you think that's like we need to step carefully, or?
No, I think what it is, I mean,
Gab.
Everyone's professional enough as well, and you're doing what you're doing. It's the way things are documented and put out there. Do you know what I mean? It's a case of, yourself, if that was your family member, would you want that certain information crossed and put over the line? There's sensitivity, isn't it? So it comes down to the professionalism, the sensitivity. Where do you draw the line? How much information do you certainly get on any activity that's going on, or respect for the building as well, and everything in and around. There's always a time and a place. So even if you record anything and document it, that could be a sensitive case where I've done a few family members where the police investigations have been closed, and the family members have asked me to go along after the investigations are finished by the police. And when you put your energies of what you've picked up, there's even a way of explaining on what's happened to that person as well. So yeah, I felt at that time I got hit on the back of the head, but I actually went down. I was walking up to the property, so I've gone down on my knees straight away. So I knew I had the impact from behind. But how do you give that to a family member that stood to the left of you? They said, "Are you okay?" So you've got to gain the information, work out what's gone on, and then do a summarize at the end of it and say, look, I do feel that the person was struck on the back of the head, but that might be an hour into the investigation. So you've just got to give like a little insight, a recap, I would say, of what we're seeing as a medium or what we're sensing. Sometimes it's not all about just giving it there and then. Sometimes in that serious situation and sensitive situation, you can say, well, I experienced this while I was having me walk around. And yeah, I know it's obvious that they've seen me stumble and go down, and I'm saying I just held back on that information. So I think sometimes it's all about the right place and the right time, and certainly there and then when I had that energy reenact what had gone on of that person's that was received this spiritual strike on the back of the head. It's overpowering as well, because I always ask for the mannerisms, the emotions of the spirit that has passed to come forward and work with me. So you can get bombarded all at once as well. So you've got to break down, is it one information of a spirit you're getting? Is there 5 or 6 different things going on all at once? So you've got to break it down as well. So you are being like your own little detective as well, and thinking on your feet and thinking about working on the energies that's going on. There might have been battles on that land 500 years ago.
That's quite interesting, because a lot of explorers, we're on land. We don't know what's happened. We don't know what's going on, and being into paranormal, I feel it, but someone that's an explorer doesn't do paranormal, they don't feel it. So I feel every emotion, and when I say, oh, I could feel this or feel that, some people are like, oh, what are you on about? But some people understand. And same with houses. I went into one, we all know it's people that are watching now, Grace's house, if you've been there. I think Gav's been there recently. I don't know who else has been there, but the man that lived in there, gentleman, hung himself. Now, I'd done an explore in that house. I felt weird in there, and I took it out because I was rushed and panicking that the farmer had come, so I wasn't actually tuned. The man hung himself in there, and I explored and I put the video. I didn't know at the time, but afterwards I found out, for oh my goodness. And back in our video, you can actually even see in my husband's video the rope hanging down, and I'm like, oh. But that was sort of stuff, you know. I did paranormal downstairs. I didn't even know it had happened. And a light went on, and we just thought, oh, we're getting out of here. I didn't do it for long. But after I found out that, I felt quite bad. So, you know, it is, I don't know who the family were. I don't know if it's true, but there was a rope there. You know, I felt a bit insensitive after. I felt a bit horrid, actually. We got a few questions as well, Gary, going up.
Yeah, sure. I did see the one. I do read it.
Oh, about Random Auto. I think that might be at me. Random Auto. Oh, we got the crop circles, because that's what Matt used to do.
Yeah.
You should come on.
I'm just looking for this specific picture, what I was just going to explain, but obviously I've got thousands of them, so I'm just randomly going through as I'm talking.
Yeah, I've got. So no, I felt quite bad, and there's a lot of houses now that explorers go into. Obviously someone's passed away, there's a story to it, there's always something, but we don't know if it's tragic or they've just passed away. And obviously we don't know what we're going to walk into either, so it can be quite scary. But there's another one, you might have heard of this one, Sully's Murder House. You heard of that one, Gary?
Yeah, they have heard of it. I've heard quite a few, like, and a lot sometimes as well is trying to break it down from like urban myths or legends as well, from depending on what time of era, how dated back the property goes, if it's 1800s or 1600s. You know, you could be 2 or 3 streets away from where the story started, or you know, a cottage or a farm or anything like that as well. So again, it's gathering in your field. I'd love to do more of that, as you know. But obviously, because of what I do professionally, Monday to Friday, I can't get drawn into that. Do you know what I mean? So, again, it's all about experiencing, documentation, recording of stuff, and then sharing it with the people in and around as well.
A question here: please describe the other side as best as you can. No, I wish I could.
Right. Okay. I've done. When I started off, I was around a very good international medium. And he said it's basically, if you think of the universe, it's like tapping into the universe of the energy around the globe. There's 60 billion people live before us. So there's pockets of energy all the way around that globe, like an arrow, if you get what I mean. So when you're tapping into an energy in and around spiritual and you're linking in, you're just tapping into an energy that's there as a spirit within the universe around the realm. So when we meditate as a medium, or people meditate, you're linking in and tapping into that connection. So when you've got a connection is how it works. Basically, a lot of people see, hear, and sense. And
3 different senses, aren't they? Do you want to explain them? The 3 Claires, isn't it?
Yeah, it's putting all them into one perspective. You know, some people see from the back of the mind, some people see through the mind's eye, some people hear, and the way that we hear spiritually, it's above our hearing mechanism. It's like a corridor. So again,
I heard in front of me, and 2 voices once. Is that how they hear it? But I've never heard it again because it scared the life out of me.
Yeah,
most
definitely.
Is it clear?
It's claircentric and everything else. It's understanding where you are within the realm, and when you get your heightened sensitivity, it is the 6th sense. So I would say to even all you urban explorers, if you want to taste a little bit of that, if you are, I would say, linked safely with a member, put blindfold on before you go into the property. and give what you're sensing, for other people not to talk, but obviously in a safe walking, environment. I'm not putting yourself in danger, but that is a way of testing your heightened sensitivity, because you will always pick up on things that you'll not be expecting as well. So you can test yourself as well. So Claire's going to blindfold her other half. I know that. So
and gag him.
And gag him, but also as well, you can do that, and then go back another time, go back to the same place, and then blindfold somebody, and then you put earplugs in, and then that person write down what they're getting on a pad. Even though they can't see, they can still write down, and sensitive of what they're recalling for 10 or 15 minutes, or even sitting in a chair or on any item, just sit there and do it. So give yourselves a little experiment to do. You're pushing yourselves outside the realm, and that's what it's all about.
I get this question before it goes up and I lose it. What are the hints and tips to explore mediumship if you're just starting? So that's mindset central there.
Everyone has got the ways to be a medium. Everyone, if you work with your gut intuition, and I always try and say to people, if you feel lucky, you'll go and have a bet. If you don't feel lucky, you won't have a bet. So go with your gut intuition. You know when things are going to tie in and fall into place. So from the solar plexus and all that, is just throw your energy out there and work with it, go with it. And you'll be surprised what comes in and around for you. You will be really surprised on your gut intuition. But I would say meditation, clear your mind for the day, all your daily thoughts. I don't preach what I do, but meditation is the link to the key to the other realm. Your heightened sensitivities will be given in one way or another for moving forwards.
We got another question from Natalie Campbell, and also Barry Little. Thank you. He's shouted your channel out for you, Gary, as well on here. So the question is, are white feathers or seeing robins a sign from the past over loved ones?
Yeah, I usually, the white feathers are usually I always say they usually give me a nudge in the right direction. So when a white feather comes around, you might be getting up on a Monday morning, you might be running a little bit late. What I usually do is, I see a lot of white feathers usually on a Monday morning. It's just like, come on, let's kickstart. This is the start of your week. And I usually do see a lot more white feathers on a Monday morning, because obviously I'm usually busy at the weekend. If this was a normal weekend, I would have been at 2 castles this weekend. I would have been at Warwick Castle on Friday night, and I would have been at Margam Castle in South Wales this weekend as well. So with the white feathers, with the robins as well, I always think they're around us all the time in our climate, in our country. So again, I get drawn personally to a spiritual bird of prey. So see a bird of prey, I get a massive uplifting, because I could be coming back from an invest, and then I'll get a barn owl come across, or I'll see another buzzard or another bird of prey basically hovering, or wildlife virtually very strong and very powerful, but it tends and seems to follow me before I get to an invest. So it could be on the start of a journey, and then I'll see a buzzard, and then I'll get further down, and then I'm getting the spiritual link, and I feel stronger as I go towards certain places as well.
It's all right, Gary. I'm getting a message here. I got the secret vault, so they come on. I can bring him
Right.
on. He used to do the crop circles. A lot to do with them. He's very Is that
Yeah.
all right with you? I'm
Yeah,
going to
sure,
sort
yeah,
the link out. What you said, I don't see any more questions. Sorry, both in our phone. I keep getting things. Trying to read on here, read on there. Not be rude to anyone.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just hi Lucifer. Hi Jackie. Hi all of you. Thank you for coming over. If I've not said your name, Katie's there somewhere. Probably Adzi. I don't all of them. I can't say them all. There's too many. Right, I need to sort this link out. So Gary, I don't know if you want to talk about maybe.
I'll give you a little instance about where we went to an old barn, an old manor house, which is still in use today. And spiritually, the building was quite quiet this one night. And we went off into the barns. And my friend does the artist impression spiritually. So what I was describing, he could see a young, like, helping hand male strung up. And he wasn't harmed in any way. He was just basically being warned to stay away from the landowner's daughter. So obviously he looked after all the horses and stuff like that. Then obviously the owner of the land found out he was getting too close to his daughter, and there was a different age gap. So he strung this young chap up as what I could see spiritually in the barn. So as I was describing it spiritually, my friend actually drew the gentleman, which is always good on a walkabout and an investigation as well. So that's what I'm saying about that was drawn in the dark as well. That photograph that was drawn in the dark. So this is what I'm saying about your heightened sensitivity. Everyone's got their own values and working in different ways. But that was just basically a little warning.
I've had a warning in a house. I did paranormal in the widow's mansion. People might know about.
Yeah.
And that place freaked me out. Now, the feeling as a paranormal investigator, I'm sensitive. I do feel, and I am a bit scatty. I'm a scat investigator, is what they call. So I don't tune properly, and I'm all over the place. That's how I am, and I've learnt to deal with that. But I'm in this house, and the feeling, the urge to just run is just overwhelming. It keeps coming, and then my stomach goes, and I feel sick, and I feel weird, and it kept doing it to me. And I know that was a sign saying you need to get out now. And the spirits were not happy; they didn't want me in there. And you know, this house is a soldier went off to war, and the widow lived there. It was making me my anxiety bad. I knew I had to get out. I did do a spirit board in there, and the spirit did actually tell me to F off, so I'm not swearing. And in the end, I did persevere, and I don't shut down boards, and people have a go at me for this. And I kept going, and in the end, they apologised to me, and they were scared. And if you walked into someone's house, just walked in, and there's spirits there, someone walked in my house now, I tell them to F off too. So you got to think like very open. I think sometimes things happen, but it's not always because it's bad. It's because spirits are like us still. They sort of have that
in your environment, isn't it? So
yeah,
I always if I get out the car or to get to an investigation, I'll always in my mind talk to the spirits around basically and say, introduce myself through my mind, and you know, and talk to the gatekeepers, spiritual gatekeepers, or people on the lie of the land, because you'll always have an energy looking after the positive, and you'll always have an energy that's looking after the negative in and around a location as well. So I will always try and be polite, greet them in my mind, and tell them what I'm about before I just go and bombard or put my energies right in there, because sometimes my light can be too light. So as a medium, I can ask the spirit if they want to talk. I'll ask them if they want me to turn my white light down.
Sorry, I've got an interesting question there.
Okay.
Why do spirits always appear old and wearing old clothes, never tracksuits, and holding a mobile phone? They always appear old and never modern. Why don't we ever see a naked ghost? I don't want to see a naked ghost.
Well, we'll have to bring forward somebody that's been killed in the shower then, basically, won't we? Or we'll have it. If again, don't forget, like my nan, she lived till 88, but she shows herself to me when she was about most happiest at 56. So when she was happiest in her life at 55, 56,
Hi, Matt.
that's the energy that she portrays and puts around herself as well.
Garry, this is Matt. Matt, this is Garry. I've said a little bit. You're different
Good
fields,
evening.
but Matt, you've done a lot, haven't you? To do, because I'm quite intrigued with all the UFO stuff you did back, and Garry would know all about that, and the crop set, all that sort of stuff. And you've done so much. You know a lot more than me. You probably know a lot more about the paranormal.
Yes.
We're just talking about places that we've been.
Yeah, I'm fascinated by all that sort of stuff, and I am a believer. I started out life as kind of like skeptical when I was young. I used to read books on the paranormal and things, and I used to think, oh yeah, you know. But it was kind of like, you know, I treated it like sci-fi. It was almost like, yeah, sorry, isn't it? Oh,
making sure my batteries don't die.
We're doing Lidl's.
I could do with one of them.
I'm not sponsored, but you know. It helps when you get the spirits out, then you know the other spirits might come out. So yeah,
just don't fall asleep, Matt.
No, definitely not. Makes me tired. Alcohol.
No, Garry, I've been known to get so drunk. My privates have ended up coming out on camera accidentally and stuff. So I got to be careful.
We're past the watershed. No, we're not past the watershed yet.
Oh, there's no watershed for that on YouTube. You get strikes and stuff. But I used to sort of be skeptical on this stuff, and I used to read about a lot of it. And then I sort of had a UFO sighting once, and then it sort of turned me on to the idea. Well, I've seen something I can't explain. What if other people are telling the truth? What if there are things that can't be explained? Definitely. And it just kind of opens your mind, and that's what. I like about these subjects. It's kind of like, you can dip in and dip out. You don't have to believe.
Yeah.
I think most people would probably, I've always said this, I think most people would probably be a little bit crazy to believe if they hadn't had an experience. It's all well and good to listen to somebody else's sort of stories, but if you haven't had an experience, you're always going to go, yeah. But once you've had an experience, very little will tell you then that it's not real.
So what about that question?
So that's where I come from.
Just asked the one about why don't we see spirits with a mobile phone, dressed in a tracksuit, like modern? Why is it when we see spirit they're all old or the residual? What can you answer that, Garry? I don't know.
To be honest with you, I mean, it's like for myself, how personal do I go where I know that person's soul's going to be gone before they've left this plane, so I know somebody will pass prior to them dying. So this is what I'm saying. Sometimes I've seen people where they've been involved in car crashes and know something's coming ahead. So you're shown little bits. So I work with souls and past lives and stuff like that. So sometimes I'll walk up to a person, I'll go, oh, you've had 15 souls, you had 15 past lives, 7 times as a male, 8 times as a female. They're more on development nights and development classes because it's a little bit more personal and intimate. So again, it's all about, that's my team giving me that information. That's not Garry as a medium. That's my team going, this is coming along.
Someone said
there's no time conception on certain things. So again, we're all learning, and that's the time. What I'm saying as a medium, it's a time to keep your mouth shut. There's a time to keep your mouth closed. Just nod and smile, and if somebody else has got different beliefs and different options, it's take their opinions on board and work with it, because I don't know the answers for everything. I'll still be learning in 40 years' time, and that's great. Do you know what I mean? And again, from people's experiences, I've done a house clearance today from up in Scotland, just like we're doing now, but on Messenger. The person's been attacked physically in the day in their own home by an energy, and the young girl was petrified. So I've had to help there balance and cleanse the property from distance, and it takes a lot of strength and effort and time to do that. And then you just bring the white light in, get the balance and cleansing, and help them out the way I work. And within 20 minutes, that settled down as well. So again, sometimes some people can get really distraught as well. So it's all about being level-headed and dealing with what you've dealt with in the past. And if I hadn't have had them experiences in the past, I wouldn't have been able to cope with that now. So
have you seen, it says here, both of you are asked, have you seen anything or think you have from another life form? That's from Smitty AVFC. Have you seen, or do you think you've seen something strange, or Oh, who wants to answer first? So
I can answer,
Matt,
or
you go
Gary,
first.
you know, yeah.
Well, what I'm drawn to obviously is the. I think we all see different shapes. Obviously, because I do a lot of Reiki treatments as well, I can say to people when they have treatments, you might see different shapes, things that objects that and items that you've not seen or sensed before in your mind's eye when your eyes closed. So people can be given them experiences as well. Myself personally, I can go close to a few secret locations that's military based and all that, and you can get an insight of what's going on underground trains. And there's just so much that heightens in and around that situation. So again, you've got to see, I always say, the nature of the beast. So I would safely say if I'm in the middle of Anglesey on a summer's night and I'm looking up to the stars, I'm more in tune and linking in with that. So again, in your open fields with your ley lines, your magnetic lines, when you've got to be in that place at the right time to be homing in and zooming in on what you have. I have sensed and seen things that I couldn't explain, but I think that's my team giving me stuff earlier on to say, if you can cope with that and deal with that, and we'll show you this and we'll show you that, we'll give you some more experiences. So I've not seen a UFO, I've not seen an alien, but it doesn't mean they're not out there, because I think the universe is that big. There's stuff out there like we can't explain today, you know, like all your magnetic lines, your ley lines, they've all got to represent something that ties in with your lazy summer days and your haze days, and where's all these crops coming from. So there's got to be realms where we've got to ask the answers. And don't forget, man's only young, you know, you're talking millions of years. Some people say to me, why haven't you ever come across a dinosaur in spirit? And you're like, well, the land and the plains changed since then. So
I always think that.
Eh?
I always think about dinosaurs. Why do we not get crushed over? I actually think about them things, especially when I'm in caves.
Well, people say about Loch Ness, isn't Nessie is supposed to be a ghost creature, you know, that comes back and forth. That was put forward as a possibility.
You had anything? Have you seen
that would go as the pocket of energy, then, wouldn't it? Again, it doesn't say it's not around. And I always say to people, seeing is believing. Being there, seeing, sensing the energies, and looking out in and around the field of what's going on at that time. The only people there that can explain on what's going on at that time is the people there. So that's where your stories start adding on to different things. Then, you know, your Chinese whispers, and then the story gets expanded. So if people send me photographs and all this, that, and the other, I always say I like to be there to sense what I'm picking up on as well at the same time.
I mean,
Matt,
going on that point about dinosaurs, I mean, there's a lot of people involved in cryptozoology who are interested in sort of animals that may be becoming extinct, which they think, oh, we found one, you know, and finding new creatures. But they're always interested as well in these stories of things like big cats that shouldn't be in the UK, but people keep seeing them, and they shouldn't be there. And, you know, some people, you know, they've even come to the point now of saying, well, some of these sightings don't make sense because at the distance that this big cat was meant to be there, it was too big, and then it changed its size. So it's almost like as if it's not real. It's not a real physical thing. Maybe it is like a ghost, or it's some sort of shape-shifting thing. And what these things will often do is the people will be trying to make contact, a bit like you do with the spirit world sometimes. I think, you know, you're kind of like asking to see something, or you get a strange sensation that something's not right, and then you look and you see one of these big cats, and then as it walks, it changes size and it gets smaller or bigger. I mean, I've actually seen something of a paranormal type of thing where the beings got shorter, which was weird.
What is that?
And
what is that? It looks like
a dog or a deer.
What is that?
That's very demonic energy.
Mm. Was it a photo?
Yes, it is photo.
Can't.
Oh wow.
So what you was touching on there is they can portray themselves as a little boy, a little girl, a man, a female. So that's the breakdown of stuff we have to come across in this plane. There is only 7 levels of light, so you've got to work out of what level of light that energy is. The main man down there won't come along. He'll send other people. That's one above the main man.
Yeah.
So again, it's like, why have a dog and bark yourself? It isn't. They'll go and portray things as not what you expect. So that's where you get the breakdown as a medium to say, right, what am I working with? Why won't you compromise with me? Why are you being angry? Why are you being this? Go back to prior to you being in that state of mind when you lived on this plane. So again, it's the understanding, and that's where I'll come from. If they don't play bat and ball with me, I'll just push it away. I'll just go, oh, see you later. When I'm ready to talk to you and you're ready to talk to me in a certain situation of what you want and why you're here, it's not about me. There's got to be the balance. Do you know what I mean? It's the fairness of putting your time, effort, and energy in to communicate with the spirit. Is to say, well, you know, you've got to be on the same wavelength.
I've got a question here. Why don't we call spirits or aliens dark entities? It's punches. Is it couches? I can't pronounce. I can't read, guys. I'm dyslexic. So if I say your name wrong, hit me. It says here, dark matter is matter that we don't know the natural of. Dark energy is energy that we don't know the nature of. So why don't we call spirits or aliens dark entities?
Again, basically, it's our understanding of asking them to come back and work with you in an energy or a pocket of. If you're seeing black energy, it doesn't mean it's a negative energy. It could be a shadow energy or a shadow person. So it's understanding the form, again, at the time, the place, the location. I always try and explain, you could be walking on Celt land, you could be walking on, you know, Saxon land and battles and anything. So it's understanding of. I always ask for the older energies to come forward first, and then you're dealing with the 1500s, the 1800s, so you get a way forwards to more closer to the time. That's the way I like to work. So if we go into a location, I'll say, right, don't just bombard me with modern times. Give me the oldest energies that's usually been waiting around the longest time in spirit, and then I'll work through the progression of that moving forwards as well. So again, it's. We never stop learning with it, and that's what I'm saying. I've seen so many energies betray themselves as not what they are, and then you've got to work out the twist and why they're doing that. You know, it's like you've heard the expression little man syndrome, where the bark's bigger than the bite, and you're like, well, they might have been like that on this plane. And you know, I've seen some very harsh small men that's been dominant to a bigger male that's got them to do things in spirit and not be nice grave robbers and all that type of things in the past as well. But again, it's all about the power, and sometimes a lot of power does come into it and control.
We've got another thing here, question. Oh, quickly, Matt, you go first. It's on the screen. Can you see on the screen?
Yeah, I can actually. I can see those things. Just to go back briefly, I mean, there's a lot of pubs around this area called Black Dog. And you just think, oh, it's a black dog, the black dog. But the thing is, the story of the black dog is this creature that follows people around. And sometimes if people who are lost, they'll see a black dog beside them, but it'll often have red glowing eyes. And that's where the story of the black dog comes from. It's a very ancient sort of thing, and similar to like these other, maybe these spirit form creatures. But I think the thing is, with the black dog, often people will kind of be shocked there's a dog there, but then it will follow them until they get home. And when they get home, then it just disappears. It's almost like as if it's to keep you company, and people who are lost. Now, I'm a big believer that if something feels bad, if you're getting a sense that you sense something's not right or you're scared, it might be your own being scared, but it might be you picking up that something might be negative. Because I mean, I've had experiences which I've felt nothing but elation and sort of like love in certain experiences and things that I've had. So, I mean, Garry, what do you think about that? You know, going with your gut feeling, you know, how it comes across.
Likes of, obviously, you know, we've all been to Denby up in North Wales, and what people soon to forget is 1600, 1700, there was wolves on the land. So of seeing red eyes, spiritually, it could be a wolf, it could be anything from that type of nature upwards again. So I've had it when we've been in and around Denby, and we've had a certain similar situation of red eyes as a pack. So that type of creature energy of what people are seeing, yeah, it could be a dog, but that's the normal today's people putting their minds as it must be a dog because it looks quite low down. It's black and it's got red eyes. But again, it could be dating back to wolves upwards. Do you know what I mean? So it could be any type of animal. You know, again, as a medium, I've never had a cow come through. I've never had a horse come through, but I can hear.
Dinosaurs.
I can hear. Yeah, but I can hear the amount of times I can hear stagecoaches and the amount of times I can hear hoofs and clopping on cobbled ground. Do you know what I mean? So the energy and the entity of that energy has still got to be around.
Maybe some creatures are more sort of in the spirit world than others. I mean, it's maybe there is a sort of like a type of spirit, a kind of energy of a certain spirit that kind of manifests more. Or maybe dinosaurs, maybe they just weren't evolved enough to be kind of in the spirit world. Maybe they hadn't kind of got to that stage. Who knows? I'm just
it's weird. I always
throw it out there.
Well, I always say, even though in our field today as human beings, to me, everyone that's struggling, to me now at the present moment of time, they're more your outgoing gatherers and your hunter-gatherers, the people that are out and on the land all the time. I feel like they're the people that's really, a lot of things are hitting home with now at the moment. So the intelligence of the brain of what we've been in and around in past lives, I don't think a lot is the older things in life. I don't think they were in the progression where we're thinking, or they had the capability to think enough, like your dinosaurs onwards. So again, it's that progression as well over the thousands of millions of years. And as I said, we are only a young human race of 2,000, 3,000 years. So we're in the space of the land of the earth. We're only a little short gap in that little sector at the moment as well. So there's got to be more to the table. If you think of how much we've developed in 100 years, but the technology side of it, people are still doing the seances. People are still doing the Victorian stuff. It's just that a little bit of technology has come in. So we haven't moved very far forwards in the last 100 years working with spirit.
See, when
we were asking me to turn my volume up. Hopefully, I'm a bit louder now.
A bit better, yeah.
I haven't got no earphones. This is just a crappy computer, crappy screen, no earphones and nothing. I need to invest, but I'm poor, so I can't. So I'm just sticking.
We'll see if we can get you a £5 pair of earbuds or something. Yeah,
I've got them, my kids, but then they nick them back, then they go missing. Got a PayPal, everybody.
Yes, send some money across on PayPal.
I've got
Survival UK was saying he wanted to tell me about the UFO story. I did see that you said it happened around Rendlesham, so thank you for that.
Here it is, UFA Gloucester, 1880.
1980s, yeah. It happened one day before the Rendlesham Forest incident, and I did pass it on to Steve Wills, who's a UFO researcher, and hopefully Steve's been in touch with you. But that's your man, because I'm still involved with UFO research, but there are people who are much more heavily connected to it than I am these days. So yeah.
So, any more questions? I was going to say, Matt, if you experience anything really strange, that when you've been out, 'cause you go to a lot of places, you go in the city, you go caves, underground, you name it, you do it. Any experience there that you thought, hold on a minute, this is a bit, where would you say your most weirdest experience was?
I mean, I love sort of courting these types of experiences. I think they're exciting. I don't think they're anything that you should hide or shy away from. If it's in your nature to kind of be interested in it, I love it. And quite often, I like to excite myself and wind myself up, with the kind of energy of it, and sort of like, say, is anyone there, and see if something comes through. And I tend to do those on other people's videos.
Oh, that is creepy. Someone's asked for it, I think, again.
See the male there? Hold on, I can't.
It almost looks like insect, like the creature, like a what was that thing? Professor Simon was talking about it, Quatermass and the Pit.
See the male there on the one side?
Yeah.
And that's an elemental portraying itself on the other one as something.
Yeah. There's definitely something out there, because we can't see everything.
Yeah.
You've still got Survival UK's comment up, by the way.
Yeah.
That's fine.
He's on about the Rendlesham Forest.
Rendlesham. Yeah.
What happened?
Well, in 1980, a UFO was seen coming down in the Rendlesham Forest next to an air base. You've got Rendlesham and Woodbridge and Bentwaters Air Base, and they were nuclear-prepared air bases. It's a very famous story. It's been on television so many times. The guys from the base went out to check out what was going on, and then they had an encounter where one of the guys walked up to this object and touched it, and nuclear weapons were taken offline by lights shining down into the base, and the whole thing was hushed up for quite some time. But a lot of people, including the base commander, have come forward to talk about it. There is a video on my channel with the base commander walking around the forest, so if you want to have a look at that. But that's the basics behind it. But I don't know quite what this Gloucester experience is, but one day before, apparently, there was a lot of sightings in Gloucester. Mm.
That is weird. I've got another question, Jackie, green cats and things. Are shadow figures and people negative? What are shadow figures? Because at the minute, we've all seen shadows, and when I'm driving back at night in my car tired, the lamppost, I see shapes around it, and they turn into things, but then I get closer and it's nothing. And I think, is it my mind? Is it my brain playing tricks on me?
Wow.
That's a team member. The male is a team member being overshadowed by a darker energy.
Oh dear.
Yeah.
Can you see it?
Just about a crap screen.
Yeah. Sorry.
So are you saying that behind that shape we can see that there is a person, but they're being overshadowed?
Yeah, there's a negative energy just come in on one of the team members.
Wow.
That was at Newsham Park, that was, in Liverpool.
That's amazing.
So I'll put it up again. Oh.
That's a mad photo. And these are digital photos, are they?
Yeah. Yeah. And usually taken by members of the public.
I'd like to go to Newsham Park.
Yeah, I've been there about 15 times. So actually on that session, what was going on there, because I do trance mediumship as well, where I ask spirit to enter somebody and I'll talk directly using the person's voice box that I asked the spirit to use their battery pack force of, is I'll get to the bottom of what that energy was about at the time period they were from. And there was another couple of people in trance, and then there was that energy was trying to step into them, and there was other energy stepping in at the same time. So I had to break the session because there was too much going on. So when there's too much going on, it's like, no, let's start again. Let's go and have a break. We'll recap, see what's gone on. So sometimes you have to slow things down as well, because spirits will test you to the limit as well when there's certain energies going on as well.
Do you know what? Because you seem to sort of be heavily into this, and you're getting a lot of stuff in those photos and things. Some of those are your photos, yes? Yeah. I mean, I'd be really interested to get you down to a place that we were in Bristol. In fact, there's possibly two places. One of them, I actually had my trousers, if you can believe this or not, my trousers were pulled down by a spirit, and it was a playful spirit, and I think it was a young spirit, and it was playing with us, and I was throwing a ball. And sort of like the spirit meter was going crazy, and we were going, what are you doing? And then it's like it came up and it pulled my trousers down. So that's one place, but that's the Bristol Royal Infirmary for Children.
I was in Bristol. I was in the Tower Clock at Bristol a few months back, I believe.
Right.
So I've been down that neck of the woods.
And the other place is supposed to be one of Bristol's most haunted places, but it's a derelict pub, and it's not used anymore. It's kind of hard to get in there, but I mean, I could get you in. And then in there, we've had crazy stuff happening. Like we've been, the buildings shook, we were hearing like rumbling sounds, banging, all sorts of stuff going on in there, and feeling like the room's gone really cold all of a sudden, and strange sort of stuff like that, And that's one of the most haunted places in Bristol.
Oh, yeah. Be certainly interested in that. That sounds like a nice team share, like that does.
Yeah, I'd be happy to get you in there, to see what happens.
That was actually on a live feed of dealing with a negative. That's actually myself channeling a negative energy.
Wow. See, I've never done that. I'm not like you, Gary. I'm like a clairsentient. I feel spirit. I work with energy. I feel portals. That's another thing. I don't know if you believe in them, Matt. portals and stuff, other energy.
I've been through one once. I'm still in the other dimension. I've never gone back. So honestly,
later, Gary, we've got a job to do.
Yeah, it's it's all good fun. It's that intriguing stuff, like where you was touching on the YouTube, and to watch that interview with the gentleman from the Commander or whatever. There's been a lot of stuff that I've heard lately, the last few weeks, going on in Hull way and a little bit outside the sea, and there's been one or two strange goings on where a lot of people were called in around the Hull area, and it was like locked off as well. So there's certain goings on. So I don't, people are in the forte of the mind. There's like a little underground bunker at sea that stuff going in and out of as well. So I don't know what your takings on of what you've heard going on in and around that area.
Actually, because I want to visit those. You've said there, I've actually wanted, because I've got a boat and we like doing those things, and I wanted to get over to them. They're quite dangerous because of the mud banks there, but if you've got a boat, you can get to them. Yeah.
Oh, is that where all the bones are? Is that what you were on about?
No, I think Hull. It's further up. You're on about Kent. That's the island where they don't want people to go, isn't it? It's the Bone Island.
I need a boat. I'll get a rubber dinghy in a cupboard downstairs.
Yeah.
From the Isle of Wight when I lived there.
I mean, they were saying about shadow figures. Are they negative? Again, it depends on how you feel about them. Are they negative or are they not? I mean, I used to get experiences where I'd wake up and I'd see figures in the room and then they would dissolve. And this happened a few times, including when I was in somebody's house. They said they had a ghost there and they invited me to come and stay. And, I'm not one that sort of like literally like throws everything in the air and runs out screaming. I mean, like literally, if there's something there, I will sit there and I'll just watch it, and I'll be taking it in, and I'll be like, I'm not moving my eyes. You're not getting away from me. You're not going to just like disappear. I'm just going to keep watching you, and I'm just like, go on, do something. And I'm like that, just go on then, do something, And anyway, this thing, I went to this person's house and they said, don't worry about my cats because my cats hate people and they always leave. So don't worry, my cats will be gone. So I turned up, the cats left, that was it. In the middle of the night, I woke up because the cats were on me and they were like nudging me and pushing me and all that. And I looked into the corner of the room and there was a shadow standing there. And I was like, oh, like that. And then it started to sort of dissolve and went away. And when it went, cats buggered off. Didn't want to be around me.
I haven't even I've seen shadows, but I've seen like, when the sun comes up off the road when you're driving your car and you see that shimmy. I see the shimmery figures move along. I've not actually seen it like disappear away. So that is quite interesting. I wonder if that was something dark because the cats were getting quite agitated and trying to wake you up by the looks of it, nudging you.
I see figures like that on the road a lot, but when you're very tired and it's almost like you're nodding and it's like, oh shit, I need to get some coffee. And then, but I mean, I'm sure it's a psychological thing because you're driving along and I think people are going to trying to run out in front of the car and I put the brakes on, like shit, and it's tiredness, but I wonder, sometimes is there something a bit more going on there as well? Like because you're tired, you're picking up on something. I don't know, but.
Well, we've all had that millisecond nap on the way home late on in the morning, and it's like whoa, and it's like whoa, not a nice experience. You know what I mean?
Yeah, hallucinations. Like that. It is a weird one. I mean, how do you? I've had things like knocking. I used to have like I'd wake up in the middle of the night and there would be something knocking on my window. And I would go out, I'd run, get up out of bed and I'd rush out there. There'd be nobody there. But it was like, literally, it was like, and there's no way anyone could do that. If they threw a stone or something, if it was somebody taking the piss, like throwing a stone, but not like, bab, 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 and it happened so many times.
I'll show you that one there, that picture. Famous picture. Whoa. That's actually myself channeling a spirit. Somebody's called me name, I've turned round and the energy stayed that I've been channeling, so you can see the spirit to the side of me there as well. That was in Stanley Palace in Chester, which is a very old black and white Tudor building down by the race course as well. And sometimes when you go out having a walk, I'll say, oh, there's an energy over there when I do a live feed, and the public will take a screenshot and then they'll analyze it, and then 2 hours later somebody says, oh, check 25 minutes on that walk around that you've done, or 10 minutes on the walk around, and you can actually see spirits then. So sometimes even in the day it's not as clear, but you can still pick up on the spirits in the day as well, which is mind-blowing as well. So again, the public I do work with as well, they're the eyes and the ears as well sometimes, because they've had some amazing captures when I've not picked up on it. And then I've had a shadow person walk right across the side of me in a graveyard. That's been about the amazing, fantastic picture that I've ever captured and seen when I'm explaining a male. And then all of a sudden, like a Quaker hat on this fella's just walked straight past me in spirit. And there's only me and my cousin in the graveyard.
Another question there. Can spirits follow you from place to place, or just where you meet them? Because I get this a lot in paranormal, and even when we do the urbic stuff. Oh, make sure something don't follow you. And people go, I command you to stay. Does that work? Or if I've always believed, in my opinion, if they're going to follow you, they're going to follow you. That's it. You're not stopping it.
The way I like to work with my team is, if I've done an invest, I'll say, right, spirits, thanks for communicating with us tonight. Much appreciated. Once we've left the property 10 foot, 20 foot off the property, please remain here. Yeah, they can follow your own if they want to continue communicating with you spiritually. Again, it's all down to the professionalism of asking them to stay and remain. Sometimes they will pursue to get to the bottom of the story, and it might be 2 weeks later somebody might say, oh, I went to this location and this has happened and I can't seem to come out of this cycle of bad luck, or I can't get out of this situation where this seems to be going on all the time, and I keep losing my house keys. And sometimes they can play little games as well.
Yeah, that house keys one is a weird one, because I haven't had it here, but the last place I lived, there was a lot of things happening. Like things would literally fly off, like the sides of stuff, and there was a lot going on. But that was one of the things, is like I would go, and where's my keys? Now I would always leave them in the same place so I wouldn't get this problem. Now I attach them to me with a chain, so we can't get this problem anymore. So it's like, because it was, if they, but I would go like, well, where's my keys? And I'd be looking around, and it's like, and then you spend ages, and then you just come back into the room, and they're right there in the middle of the bed, like, empty bed, just a sheet, and they're right there. And it's like, what? That's a bit weird. And I don't know what you think about like poltergeists and things like that. Is are they trying to communicate with you, or are they sometimes?
I always find what they're doing is, when they're more prominent and dominant, it's just like to get your
attention,
basically. So, they might wait 5 or 6 weeks, and then you go, hang on, I've come across this energy before. Oh yeah, I was in that location. What you're doing around here? And sometimes, again, it's just for that clarity that sometimes the spirit will come along and go, somebody can see me, somebody can sense me, and somebody can communicate with me. And then after that drive, where I've had it many a time where that will happen to an open person, where they know there's energy around, but they will pester somebody else to get to me so I can go and work with it then. So sometimes they've always got an intelligent way of trying to skip around people that know that there's somebody around them that can have the communication as well. And sometimes they can just be playing games. Sometimes it's just that interaction just to test you as well. Sometimes they can bring so much to the table, you've got to work it out in and around what it's about. I've had communication from Mary Queen of Scots, like chambermaid, and that led on to a story, but that story was 5, 6, 7 years apart. So I did not get the next chapter of that book for 5, 6, 7 years of what I visualized 6 or 7 years prior. So there's no conception with it as well. So it's slotting it and going, hang on, I've met you before. That was 5 or 6 years ago as well. So it just doesn't happen overnight.
Another question.
The other thing was as well, sorry, just about spirit guides. I mean, they're with you, aren't they? And they've, if you've got a spirit guide, it'll follow you around. And I mean, I've gone to many sort of like spiritualist churches, and they've said the same person, the same sort of spirit guide is there again and again and again. Now, I don't know who they are, but it's that sort of like always there. But just, sorry about that. I thought I'd just drop that in before we forget.
Yeah.
That's confirmation though, isn't it? If you're getting it from, one person, I've had it, you can go into a place and they say something, yeah, whatever. Next person might say it and you think, well, maybe, But then when it get it again and again, you think, do you know what? There's something true about this. And I know I've had the similar thing, and you know that's quite interesting when that happens. But I've got another question from Mindset Central. When something comes through, are you seeking it out, or does it force itself on you?
I wish it would. I need a bit of action.
You said you've had your pants pulled down before, and we'll keep it clean.
I know. We're getting a like, yeah. It's becoming a thing.
Basically, again,
got loads of
seeking it out. It's like I always have the mindset of being down the middle, so I take my thoughts away from things. So, like you said, you might hear a knock, a bang, a bump, or something. I'll just say, okay, there's somebody in and around. Can you do that again? Can you give us some more clarity? So again, it's asking for that build-up of, you know, we're not just seeking it out. If I go to a building on a location on an investigation and it's a quiet night, it's a quiet night. So I know that I'm going in the right mindset to say, well, yeah, if it's quiet, it's quiet. You go back in a different time of period. And I always say to people, anybody that's even urban exploring, if you go back on each season, your summer, your winter, your spring, and your autumn, you will sense different things as well at the different time periods as well within that seasons as well. So I always say to people, if you go and investigate somewhere or you go out, go 4 times and try and cover the periods of the seasons like January, November, December till March or whatever, and go your winter times and that, and see how different it feels. It's not just the cold, and it's not just the hot and the warmth and that. It's about getting the balance of them 4 periods, so you can get an average level of what's going on at certain periods of the year as well. Just that, you know, you might not go back to that place for 5 years, but in the winter, I went to Guy's Cliff in the Midlands, and my guide just said straight away, come back in spring, come back in summer, because I can see a lot going on around the lake and the pond, and I needed to get out on the land. But in the winter time, it was just like, you're not going to walk over there in a pair of shoes. So
I've got a nice scar on my arm from there, getting in there. I've got a nice scar on my arm. Can I get it up? No, right there, the camera. I can't do my camera. I've got a big scar on my arm from sliding down, getting in that place to explore it in the day down, and I had to climb through a barbed wire fence.
I got one of my scars were I had stitches. Hang on, there's my stitches from getting into a building.
I save all that. I save all that hassle by getting it asked to go along.
Yeah.
But then that was the Isle of Wight, wasn't it? Where I'm from.
That's right. Yeah, that's right. I was going into a building and I was just putting my foot through the window to climb through, and my foot just gashed sideways and it just nearly cut my tendon. So you've got to be careful with these sorts of things. People are asking, is the pub the Landogger or the Landogger? It's not. No, it's not. No. The pub is called the. It's not the Ram Inn, by the way. Somebody else was asking that one.
Yeah, it's good there.
Hang on, it's just gone out of my head. Hang on, I'll come back to you. Sorry, I've had a blank.
Pub. Well, it was. She's getting it confused with that pub in Bristol. The dog one probably.
Yeah, that is the disputed most haunted pub in Bristol. There are 2. It's the Landogger, which is supposed to be closing, but it is still kind of like a proper. It's still done out as a pub, and it might get sold like that. But the other one is the Rummer Tavern. So there we are, Rummer Tavern. Sorry, that's the one.
Oh, that looks like an old Victorian, someone with long hair, like a pirate. Looks like a pirate.
That's actually me channeling and trancing and negative energy through. Different, but just with a different light shade and life tone. So usually I work with the red light, because spirits are like a rabbit in the headlight. Sometimes they'll come through in different, the ultraviolet or the red. So if you have a white light, then sometimes it's too strong for them as well.
Oh, there's another question there. Someone called Icy Dime. Not a question, like it says here that, you know, that sixth sense thing you get. You know, when you get feelings, like I get it now when you're driving home late at night and I've been exploring. Don't turn down that road. I turn the other way because I've done it before and missed an accident by seconds. And then I looked back and thought, Oh my goodness. And my husband, who's watching Oxford Finest, he back last year, if he's watching, drove down the road near here, near Bullingdon Prison. He went past the junction, looked back in his mirror, a car flipped up behind him, but he put his foot down bombing. He said if he weren't bombing, that would have been him in that car. And,
Wow.
you know, a fatal crash. So, you know, it's here on here. It says here about certain way home for Xmas. She felt doomed and wanted to message him, obviously not to go. And it says here, but he already left and not read it, and he had a crash. So what do you think about things like that? Do you believe in that sixth sense thing, Matt, too, Garry?
Yeah, definitely. It again, if it's your time, it's your time. If it's not your time, your team will do things. I get a lot of deja vu. I've been frozen walking across a road in the middle of the road in a safe place, and you get like an island, and I like can't move. What's going on? And I've had it over the years where it's just like if you're meant to be in that certain place or you're not meant to be in that certain place, there's a different energy that will come around and protect you and look after you as well. So I feel nothing happened in front of me that day. It was just to experience that freezing at the time and pressurizing me, so I couldn't move. I couldn't walk. I was just like as if it hit a barrier of energy and I couldn't walk. And I've experienced it quite a few times, seen a lot of the deja vu where things have tied in and gone, well, why are you showing me that? But definitely with certain things, with the accidents, I've had it with so many friends that's gone, and I've known that they will be going as well. So it's that reverse of that as well. You know, and it is hard sometimes to actually put the actual answer to that, because sometimes you're shown stuff and within a couple of weeks one of your friends are gone, within a couple of weeks this has happened, we've all had the disasters, and we've all had we've all had that scenarios go on where you knew that something was coming along prior to it coming along as well. So to me, that's your sixth sense as well, which is happening. Follow your team are looking after you.
So I got loads of people saying they can't write questions up and messaging me, text messaging me messages to ask you guys. So I'm looking at my phone. Another one come through. People keep messaging me about dreams. I'm going to quickly get it in so it's out of the way. This is for Leslie. Ask about dreams and seeing people in them that aren't here anymore. So what do you think that is? Is that a message? Is that a consciousness, brain? What do you think? Both of you, but Matt, do you want to answer that?
Yeah, I think that we pick things up in dreams. I mean, I had a weird one once where I've had these since being a child. I get a lot of urinary infections, don't know why, and I have to take a particular type of antibiotics. And it always works, you know, and it's like, so you take these antibiotics. But what I've noticed is a couple of times I've taken these antibiotics, I've had some really weird stuff happen to me in dreams, very vivid dreams. And the funny thing was, it was once where I had a dream of somebody like, you know, like you get a clown and they sort of do this like, sort of like, ha, 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 sort of clowny type thing. And I was having the face of somebody that I hadn't spoken to in quite a long time, sort of like doing this business and sort of like, ha, ha, ha. And I sort of woke up and I was like, sort of just sitting there and it's like the phone rang. I was like, oh, sort of lean over, pick up the phone. And it's this person, and it happened over 3 days. So dreams, consciousnness, your brain, I think we connect to a higher reality, and it kind of goes somewhat what we were talking about just a minute ago with driving down a road and thinking something's going to happen. I've spoken to so many people who've had those experiences, but what happens with me is I believe in these parallel dimensions. I believe there may be multiple dimensions, and we may have other copies of ourselves living in these other dimensions. In one dimension, you're dead, and in this other dimension, you might be a different type of person. You have a different life, and you've got this and that. I believe that's a possibility. And the weird thing that happens to me a lot is I'm just milling along. It happens a lot when I'm driving. I'm just driving, and all of a sudden, I just feel like I've just passed through a wave of something, and I just know that I just died. Somewhere else, I just died. Not now, somewhere else, I just died. But it's not me. And I get that a lot. I could be walking along in town and I'm thinking about something and busy, and I just go, woof, something's just happened to me somewhere else. Not me, somewhere else, something just happened to me.
Well,
and that's bizarre. What the hell's that about? That happens a lot.
There was a famous gentleman of a doctor studied the unconsciousness of people in comas and stuff like that, hospital based and all this, that, and the other, car crash accidents and comas. And I think the book was something like The True Way to Die or something like that. But it's all his thousands of people he's interviewed and families and friends and the connections of the subconscious mind connecting. I've had family members before they've passed and they've not been in a talkative state, but they're communicating with me and talking to me and answer me a question in my mind. When I've asked a question, they've squeezed my hand and stuff like that. So there is a massive amount of stuff that we still haven't got answers for, but definitely with all that, the dream state of mind, and there is so much more that the mind can do that we haven't got the answers for. I always say it's a computer. Sometimes we have to defrag it as well and clear it, you know. So again, it's that dream state. I always feel more comes to you spiritually when you're open to receive. So when you're going to sleep, that's when people go and get that shock feeling of like, wake back up straight away. It's because your mind's relaxing, but that's the state of a mind a medium has to be in when we're working. So when we're nodding off as normal human beings, that's the openness of your mind when you're relaxing at the state of your mind. That's when you're on that level as well, in that brand and that pocket, that your mind's in that mindset as well. So people can try that as well, because I wouldn't be surprised that that's where a lot of people see white energies in the bedroom just as they're nodding off and spirits coming in really close. So,
what about the lights? My daughter had a light. Two of my daughters, when they're in the room, come running out. They said a ball of light went through their room. This is in this house. I've had a few strange things, but it's all right now.
sometimes they could be open.
A lot of people about the ball, you know, the balls of light hovering, and this one was like a fireball. They said it went through the room though. They came running out screaming. So what would you say about that as well? Because that's interesting.
I'll just show you one now. I'll have a little look for it. Basically as well, if they're open again and want to receive, energies can come in and go past when they're least expecting it as well. But usually it's that when you're in that relaxing state of mind as well. Again, their minds might be heightened and building that energy up as well. So it sounds like there's a build up of energy there as well.
I can't keep up with all these questions. You got a picture for that? But I've seen my mum even mentioned to me she's seen stuff like that. My kids come bombing out, seen it. Quite a few people always mention these. Oh, actually, I have on one event. Actually, I'm lying. I did spirit board, was calling out, and a ball of light came out the floor. That was that place you said that I cut my arm open getting into. The one you've been called back to land, Gary, up in just outside Warwickshire.
So I'm not a big orb person, but that came flying at me in the morgue at Newsham. But that was like that travelling, so it was swirling as it was travelling. And again, a member of the public captured that. And you can have a light boom, which I'll try and look for that picture now. Just to let you know, I've got a podcast as well at 9:30, so I am expecting in America as well. So just to let you know,
I'm sure Matt hang around for a little bit longer.
Yeah, I'm not that popular. Look, I'm not as popular as Gary, so I'll stay here.
I'm not just going. I'm just saying I might get a call from.
Let me get some rope.
Yeah, it's nice to be wanted, isn't it?
It certainly is, but again, it's that experiencing because, as you say, you go out urban exploring and all that, and I get invited to a lot of places, so it's nice to be. It's just nice to be nice and enjoying and sharing the passion that I have, and that's what's great, and that's why I've met so many amazing people in the field out there, be it ufology or whatever they do and whatever they believe in. It's just nice,
I mean, I love this stuff about the morphogenic field, the idea that we may have a group consciousness, that humanity has this telepathy, that we maybe talk to each other in dream states, and it may be scientifically provable through animals that are disconnected by land masses. And when an animal learns a new trick, then all the other animals learn that trick, or they become very able to do it. They say that chemicals work like this as well. There's something about the first time you synthesize a novel chemical, it's hard to do it. But once you've done it, then everyone else who tries to do it does it much easier. But it's like things in nature seem to sort of gravitate towards, once you know a thing, then everyone knows that thing. I mean, people. Where am I going with this? I've had experiences where I've been in distress, and psychically I've called out because I'm in distress. And somebody has picked this up and started calling, like, where's Matt? Something's wrong with Matt. Something's wrong with Matt, because I've been like calling out. So, I mean, it's not just the spirit world. I think, person to person, we're all able to communicate on a level that we don't understand. And is the consciousness 100% inside our body, in the brain, chemicals, or is there a bigger consciousness? Are we all connected into like the Akashic record, and are we all dipping in and out of other people's experiences, memories, and maybe this is where the ghosts come from. They're connected into that as well. Maybe some ghosts are actually physically in a place, and some of them might be their essences that are coming from another dimension. I mean, I'm just throw that in there. Any ideas on that one?
Well, I'd say with the record side of the Akashic records and all that, again, it's like it's an unread and unchaptered book, isn't it? There's got to be some type of main control area where a lot of this is coming from, so it's trying to tap in and trying to get to the bottom of our unknown answers, because I just feel it gets you hooked on certain things, and when you're hooked on something, that's where you go to that realm of trying that extra things, like sort of, again, a paranormal investigator might try 30 different things on an investigation. One object might work and one object might not work, but again, it's all about that trial and error on the night. You go again there, and it might not happen again on that different night as well. So again, it's like, why did that work on that night? And my team will always say to me, try this or try that, run with this, run with that. And it's trusting them, and they'll say, so they're getting an idea of what will respond, basically, not the spirit side of it, but what type of level of energy that's in the room that will respond with what my team and my guide are talking to me about. Because it's like, have a break, and then next time start with this, start with that, and it's like, right, okay, I trust them, I go with my gut intuition with them, and it's having the belief and trust of running with that as well. And that's what's so amazing, because it's like, it really isn't a quiet night when I'm out. There's always something goes on that we talk about, and that's why we do what we do, and that's why you do what you do. It's just it's that. Do you remember this? Do you remember that? And it's just like it's just endless with all the answers, isn't it? All the answers.
And I mean, it's nice to sort of think about these things, because I mean, the more that you learn that the universe is a lot bigger than we think, and I think I feel comforted knowing that there's so much more we do not know. I mean, I hate these limiting scientists who are like, oh no, there's nothing, and they sort of like break it down into just like, well, that's just misperceptions, and you're just making this up, and that's just guesswork and all this sort of stuff. And but they haven't had many real experiences. I mean, I've had a lot of real experiences as far as I'm concerned, and so have a lot of other people. And I mean, I'm glad to live in a universe that is infinitely complex and infinitely interesting. And that gives me beer. It gives me beer. It gives me hope. And it's nice. I think that's a good thing. I mean, reductionist science is not the answer. I mean, we've been around for a very long time, and spirits have been with us for all that time. Before mobile phones. People used to put the ley lines, the markers of the ley lines, and they used to put things on. They used to build stones on energy centers, and people knew about this stuff. And it's not all sort of like hocus pocus and crap. I mean, why does a dog know that its master has died? How does it know? How does it know when they're no longer, together? Animals know things as well. So it's like the animal world and us are connected via a spiritual dimension. I think there's a lot more that we need to learn. And yeah, I'm just happy to kind of be looking at it and not knowing all the answers, because I don't think you can. I mean, think there would have to be a God that encompasses it all would probably know the answers, and we can't. We just know little bits of it. But it's nice to know there's something more, rather than it being nothing more. I'm happy to know there's something more.
And as they say, that there's, you know, spirits will see there, they'll watch, they'll monitor, and they know when you have a family member through and somebody explains your family member, you know that person that you've never met before as a medium or someone can give you information, or somebody in the street might talk about, oh, I see your granddad around you or something like that. There's always a time and a place to talk about that. But you know the details are so specific or so fine. They might like yellow roses or something like that. You go, oh, and that's quite specific. And when you get the little things, they always stand out more for me. Them little things, you know, them little words or a sentence or something or their phrase, it's just like, hang on, there's just no way that people would know that other than a personal thing. So when you get the little things, that they mean mountains out, they mean the lot for me. When you get the little things, they stand out more.
Yeah, I mean, I've been to spiritualist churches, and I've said to people a few times, I mean, you can go to these places a lot, and maybe you won't have things happen for a very long time. And the thing I love about the paranormal is it's not this fixed thing like you turn right, you get this, you turn left, you get this. The paranormal is something that seems to be alive. It has a character, it has a charisma, it knows how to joke with you, and I always say, you know, don't expect too much, because like sometimes you don't always get what you want. You might get what you need, but you don't get what you want. If you ask for this, it might give you this. And then you go, but that's not what I asked for. And it's like, but this is what you need. And that's what I think is kind of like, sometimes you have to kind of go with it, not demand, not expect, because you'll always be, you know, like held back if you're demanding too much. I think you get held back. And when you just let go and you go, well, I'm bored of this, nothing's happening, it'll go, douche, something will fall off a shelf and it'll be like, don't give up. It's almost like as if, you know, it's like, no, we're not going to come out to play exactly how you want, but we will let you know we're there. But you know, you have to be humble. You have to be as humble in the way you ask, not like as if you are in control of it, you know, that it comes and plays when you say. You know, it's like sometimes you have to play when it says, you know, and it's kind of like that's what I like. I like this kind of the cosmic joker. I like the cosmic joker.
I've got to bring the husband on when Garry goes. He's going to come on. He sat next. Yeah, when we bring the screen down.
Oxford finest explorer.
How are you?
He's got rid of his beard, everybody.
Shaved it off.
Good.
There he is. Oxford finest explorer.
Oh yeah.
There he is. Yeah.
On the I know Gary's got to get off. Thank you for helping me out so much. I really appreciate it, Garry. You were coming on anyway, and Matt, we're going to stay on for a bit longer. You both saved my life.
Yeah, most appreciated. Yeah. I'll
let Matt tell me about that place and sort that out, and I'll get about sorting it out when this horrible lockdown's over.
Garry, we're both busy people, but I'm sure if it's meant to happen, you know, we'll meet up at some point. And if you do want to come to that crazy place, because I mean, like I've been to a lot of places in my time, but that place in Bristol is pretty crazy, and like it has got a reputation. So.
I am all for that, bringing a few friends.
And we could know, you know, it's abandoned, right, and it's all locked up. But I know a way to get in, so it's not going to cost any money, and we can spend as much time as you want. Okay. You know, so
much appreciated. Great to meet you.
Thank you, Garry.
All the best.
So many people inbox me my messages, and like because we just chat, we don't really plan nothing. Like you, Matt, I like to fire a few questions. It's nice because like we do the lives on the Urbex, we just sit and talk once, and we don't challenge people sometimes. I like to challenge people a little bit and find out a little bit how we all think. And I know that Matt and Garry, you're both, you know, so much. You know, I know things, but I'm not like you two.
Well, and that comes down to like yourselves. You've got to get out there, and then when you get out there, you just experience things as you're going along. You know what I mean? Like you you experience it, and it's all about experiencing and getting out there, getting out and about. If you don't get out and about, you know, it's not going to come to you, really, is it? So you need to experience these things to work out what's going on.
Crap memory, so I'm not very good in my head. I get the words in here and I can't get it out, so it's all in here, stuck. Stuck. But I'll let you go, and I'll.
Thanks for your time.
Thank you.
Nice to speak to you, Gary.
I've got about 700 videos as well on Garry Fields Raw Paranormal on YouTube.
Put it onto the link for everyone, I think.
I'll try and check out your stuff, man.
All
nice
right.
one.
Pleasure
All
to
the
meet
best.
you.
Have a nice stream. Have a nice stream with the other people.
Yeah,
So
it's over in America, so I'm going to catch up with them. See you later.
All the best. Cheers.
Bye, Gary.
Oh, here we are. Tina Line has just said in the chat, she says, Aid used to work in the rummer and never liked going in the cellar. There we are.
That's Tina, my friend. She's in my paranormal team and her husband. They're down yeah, Aid loves watching your stuff apparently. So
oh, great. Well, the thing is, there is two rummers. You see, this is the weird part about it, right? There's the rummer that's there now, which apparently is a new rummer. Yeah. Now the old rummer is round the back, and that has a basement too, actually. And I'm not sure if the two were joined, and if they got split off and made into two buildings, two pubs. Now I'm not sure about that. But the one we've been in, which is the abandoned one, we've had a lot of weird stuff happening there. And I mean, it might be that the actual active rummer has weird stuff in it as well. They might have been one pub at one point. I'm not sure, though. So
that's not. They've been messaging me. They've been messaging me on my phone. I keep getting everyone. I don't even know who it is. People on Facebook, because it says on here that it doesn't say who they are. And I'm getting people messaging me on here, and I'm thinking, well, I don't know who it is. So sorry. You have to message me later, and I'll be like, "Oh, sorry, I'm dumb." But don't worry. There's some good questions here. The one about the past life, and Matt, what do you think about past life? Because people are saying, "What are your thoughts on past life?" Like
well,
you were saying,
I'm not entirely sure, but I mean, I've seen a lot of interesting sort of evidence. You know, I mean, there's things like people who come back with memories of lives they've had before. I mean, some people acute memories of things that they shouldn't really be able to remember, like children who are born and they're talking like really, really young, and they're like well advanced beyond their years, and they're talking about this person they were and everything like that. Now, a lot of the time, I mean, due to the way that we bring up our children, we probably dismiss a lot of weird stuff, and a lot of it gets suppressed. Abilities that people may have, which are not, you know, not very cool according to certain religious beliefs and the church and things, and we suppress a lot of stuff. And I think, you know, we try to bring out the best in people, but it's all about mental abilities, mental and physical abilities. But I mean, the spiritual side is often like pushed to one side now, and it used to be that there were people who were more the shamans, and they would be revered for their sort of connecting with the spirit side. But I mean, in today's society, I mean, religious people or people that have experiences, they're kind of like treated a little bit oddly. And it's, you know, you even it's the people who go into the church, they're the ones that, you know, oh, I've studied to be a vicar, and it's like, right, have you ever had any weird experiences? Like, no. It's like, oh, but you believe in God? Yes. So why do you believe then? Well, I believe, and I just believe. And it's like, but you haven't had any weird experiences? You haven't had any real direct connections? God doesn't speak to you? No. So you believe in something you don't have any direct experience of, but you believe in it. And it's like, so there's a paradox. And then the ones who say they believe in it because they're experiencing it, people go, oh, you know, not interested in them. There's a paradox. Yeah. It's like the people who should be talking about this stuff are the ones who are suppressing it and saying you shouldn't be interested in that. Right. And the ones who are saying about it, you know, often they kind of like, sometimes probably treated like as if they've got a a cheese meltdown interest. They're like, yeah, they're like a cheese toasty, which I could do with right now. Yeah.
So on the
somebody asked a question earlier on, and they said, Matt, would you like to take a lie detector test? It only costs £500. Yes, I would, but I dare say the validity of it would always be in question. If I aced it, people would slag it off. And if it wasn't aced, they'd go, oh, it proves a point. You know what I mean? So it's like you can't win either way. And ultimately, you know, people who are telling the truth can fail lie detectors, and people who are liars can pass lie detector tests. So I mean, it's all very subjective. And really, I would say, look, I don't want to convince anyone of anything, and I'm not trying to sell a book, and you know, I'm not trying to make money. It's not about that. I'm just saying, maybe one day you will find out. You know, maybe one day you will. You know, and that's good. So, you know, but as you see, I don't go on and on about it on my own channel, because I have my beliefs and I realize how hard it is to get people to change theirs. That's why I do Urbex. I totally believe in this stuff. I just don't go, you know, ramming it down everyone else's throats. You know,
I don't get down people's throats. They either like me or they don't like me. I wouldn't say I'm religious. I do believe in certain things. Protection. You know, I'm me. That's how I see things. If someone says, "Are you this religion? This? Are you this? Are you Christian?" I'm like, you know what? No, I'm me. That's how I've always been since I've been little. I've always just been me, and that's how it is. And I don't think anyone could ever preach anything on me, because I probably wouldn't listen anyway. But I believe that, you know, everyone's got their own opinion, and I do believe everyone needs to have their own experience with paranormal. Like, I've had few people, skeptics, come in with me and go, what a load of rubbish, and they've kept quiet, and they've had an experience, and they've walked out at the end of the night. Do you know what? I've really enjoyed this. You've shown me another thing which I didn't believe in, but I had my own experience, and I feel, you know, just everybody has to have their own experience to believe it. Some people don't get no experiences. There are people out there who do not get anything, and I'm like, wow, nothing's ever happened to you. What a boring life.
I think some people naturally are more gifted or more inclined towards these things. Some people, I think, it's a bit out of control, and it can become like a real problem in their lives. It can probably take over and can cause mental illness problems. You know, it makes people very unhinged. And I think that, yeah, and you know, somebody's saying, you know, maybe, you know, give just proof of ghosts. Well, I mean, like, what would be acceptable proof? I mean, it really depends on the people that are viewing it. I mean, what's proof to you would not be proof to everyone else. I mean, just because I believe in something doesn't mean I can get you to believe in it. Exactly. I mean, there are some people out there who just can't understand how, you know, a car works. You know, or a computer works. They know it does because they drive one every day, but they don't understand how it works. You know, and if you start to tell them, like, well, this is how it works, they go, oh, no, not interested in that. No, you know, so you got, you know, that's a real physical thing. It's there every day. And a lot of people are like, no, I just can't handle that. Well, you know, just let's switch the word computer for ghost, right? Well, there's something, right? A lot of people have it. A lot of people believe it's not there. You know, I mean, some people say, like, oh, I just don't know how you know all this stuff. Well, it's like, well, there are some people who know 1,000,000 times more than me. I'm not clever by any standards, you know, but some people, they have specialities. Some people are good at some things, other people are good at others. And I think some people are just tuned into this ghost paranormal realm, and they're very good at that.
Mine's like energy. I can't hear, like, some mediums say they can hear. I've heard before, right? I didn't like it. It went away. I'm glad it didn't come back. I didn't want that gift. I've got gifts where I'm sensitive. A bit like you, Matt. You feel, just sense. I'm very, very tuned in to people. Read it. I'm very, you know, switched on. I come across a bit arrogant sometimes because my head's always going. It's just like, you know, everyone's different. There was another good question here about Bigfoot. It said, I don't know who it is, by the way. It says, do you think Bigfoot could be a ghost or our ancestors? What do you think about Bigfoot? Because that always. What size?
I am real. 12. That is. Yeah. And it does. You know, the size of your feet does definitely. Yeah. So that's all I'm going to say.
It has been me chatting on the comments, people. If you think I'm a weirdo, it says I'm camera shy.
Oh, Hey, did you know you got 100? Did you know you got 150 people watching?
Yeah,
Matt,
I've been
thanks to you,
watching
Matt.
all night.
Why? Is this good? Is this good? Is this an average sort of figure or?
Brilliant for Claire. She's got about 100 new subscribers.
Thanks to you, Matt.
Well, I was going to say, let me refresh the page, because if you haven't subscribed, I'm seeing a 345. When I came on earlier on, it said 345. Let's do an experiment, right? If you haven't subscribed to Claire, click the subscribe button. You don't have to, because there's nuances, right? Now, I haven't even subscribed, so I'm going to click it, right? Subscribe. Then you got the bell icon. Well, I'm shit, so now I've done it, so I'm not so shit anymore, right? But then you don't have to have every single video. You can have no videos. That's the bell crossed out. Or you can have some, or you can have all of them. Now, if you don't want to have all of them, you can just do personalized, and then you can have them every once in a while. It just meters them out. But just say subscribed, right? That's number one. And let's do an experiment in a couple of minutes, and let's see whether that 345 has gone up to some crazy big amount. Wouldn't that be nice? Wouldn't that be nice?
It would be nice. We got Mr. Oxford Finest Explorer. He works so hard. We both, works all week. This one here, 20 hours you do a week, and then we spend every spare minute going out trying to get. We love it as a hobby. It keeps us sane, and to please people, to something to watch and lockdown. It is quite. You're passionate about it, aren't you? Without it, what would you be? You sat here doing bugger all, smoking a fag, drinking beer like you, Matt.
Yeah, drink a beer and smoke some whiz and drink some beers. No, not quite. I'm glad to see as well, because you were a bit ill recently, and now you're back on full form by the looks of it.
Still got breathing difficulties. I've got to go to a specialist. I'm waiting for my appointment. I've got a damaged right lung. I had a scarred lung from pneumonia. I had bronchiectasis in my right lung, and then COVID come along and really knocked me. The last 5 days I've been brilliant. And
good.
The thing is, then I have a few days I'm all right, and I go back down again, and up. It's still waving along.
Go and take the ivermectin. I'm not a doctor, and I do not give medical advice, but take some of that ivermectin.
Because I looked and didn't know what one it was. I'd probably take something and grow old.
Yeah, well, we start going nay. Well, I'm glad to see that you're getting back on your feet, so you can start getting back out there and stuff, which is good. So, but yeah, I mean, it's nice. I mean, I just didn't realize, because you're one of these people I've met, because I went around their house, by the way. I was coming back on a live stream, and they said, "Oh, where are you?" And I said, "Oh, I'm in Bicester." And they were like, "Oh my God, we're down the road." So I went down their house, and there they were, and they had this big screen, and they were watching me, and I was like, "My God, this is how people watch me on a big screen like that." Wow. Yeah, but they gave me a cup of coffee. I probably just gave her COVID, because I'm probably one of those like Ebola spreaders, but without ever getting it myself. So I hope it wasn't me. Because you got it quite soon after I came there. And I was like, whoa, dodged a bullet there. Or is it me? Am I just...
I don't know. I think my daughter got it from... I don't know if my daughter got it from her work. She's at Bristol Village. We have a lot of people coming in and out there, and I think she got it. And she had achy legs on a Monday. And then
achy legs. Oh, well, I'm going to refresh it then. I want to see. Come on, people, subscribe. Ready? I'm going to press F5. So you got. Well, it's going to take 30 seconds for my message to get out, so there's no point saying this. Right? Press F5. Come on. How many have you got? 449. 100. You got 100 subscribers tonight.
How about this
Bloody
one?
hell.
This one needs some.
Yeah. You need some Oxford Finest. Well, mate, I'll have to come on your live stream, look, and we'll give you 100 subscribers.
He's a shy one. He won't go on it.
I'm the gift that keeps giving.
Did you watch? Matt, you probably didn't watch it, but he fell in the river the other day. I thought I found a bone. We were going across some fields. We took the dog out. We did a round of Nautica. People don't like it on here, but we walked the dog and thought we need a video. We're going to go out and just see what happens away from everybody on our own. And he fell in the river because I thought I found a bone. He went over the fence. It's on my video. He got back over in a mood. Told me he's going to throw me in the river. It's all on camera.
Well,
On
I mean, Randonautica could be influenced by strange things. Who knows? But I think in general, some of the videos I've seen from some people, yes, they should be classed as entertainment.
I went up the wood the other day and I found a dog's head up there, cut off. That ain't fake. And we went up there, weird stuff. But I do know what you mean. Some of it is a bit
dramatized.
But if you're just going to see and seeing what turns up, and I do paranormal, so I could throw a bit of that in. And actually,
we just like going for the explore, looking for the pins, going to the adventure, going to the pins more than anything.
Yeah. I mean, it's something to do. I mean, you know, you could do the same with Pokemon Go, or there's loads of apps that are similar sort of thing. But you never know, you know, unless you get out to do it. I mean, you know, unless you get out in life, nothing's ever going to happen to you, is it? If you're going to sit in the house and just watch like TV all the time, then you probably learn a lot about television programs. But yeah, that's going to be it. I think if you get out into the real world and just do some explores and have some fun, and you know, everyone's all like really like the COVID thing. It's like I have not been like that at all. In fact, I quite like the COVID thing, right? Because there's less people on the roads and there's less people around, and it means I can do what for me. It's been like business, you know, absolute, you know, not like literal business, like, you know, job done. You know, for me, I will not let that get me down. You know,
I thought about this the other day. If we're in our car and we're only getting out at a location with nowhere near anyone. That's even than going to the shop.
Yeah. And I mean, you know, they say they were saying you can't go for a walk up a mountain because it's like a beauty spot and blah 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 and all this. It's like, well, hang on a minute. If you're on the top of a mountain and the wind is blowing at like 20 miles an hour, right? Well, anything that's coming out of your mouth is going to be woof. It's going to be off that direction. It's going to be gone. So anyone you encounter, you're not going to infect each other because the wind's going to be blowing. Unless the wind's blowing downstream into people, most of the time, this is bullshit. It's absolute bullshit. Like, stay in your house. Stay in your house.
I have stayed in my house. I stayed in my bed nearly for 8 weeks because that bloody COVID. I ain't now because I'm not sitting in and feeling so low and depressed. When that is exploring and paranormal is my lifeline. That's your lifeline. That's your sanity. That's keeping you motivated and going. And I think I couldn't cope. I just stay away from everybody. Be a bit mindful about things. But you're more at risk going in bloody Asda or Tesco's or Aldi. I go in there having a bloody fit with a mask on, thinking I'm going to get it again.
Unless you bump into other explorers.
I get quite panicky wearing a mask because I feel like I'm not breathing properly. Now I get panic attacks and anxiety, and that's a real thing for me. You know, like I got to take beta blockers when my adrenaline goes up. I went and did the explore in the BA, the British Airways place, the training place, and like we were running away from this security guard. You'll see it. It's quite, and he's got a dog with him. Luckily, he didn't let the dog off, but we lost him in a building, and like afterwards, I was like, oh yeah, we got away. It was great, you know. So it's like, yeah, we got away. But I was so adrenalized. This is what people don't realize about me. I'm so like wound up. My neck is stiff, like, and I'm suffering. Like I want to be sick. I want to be sick because my stomach is wanting to throw up. You know, because I've got so much adrenaline in me, and I had to take a tablet. And then about an hour later, I was like, oh, I feel normal again now. And then we went and did another explore. But because I had that in my system, I felt better. But I love getting out there and having fun and exploring and sort of getting into that. So like, wow, you know, let's see whether we can get away with this tonight. Tonight I did an explore, which is just in the next town. But again, I wasn't near anybody. I was well away from everybody, you know, and it was just a co-op. And I'd heard this place was abandoned, and I heard the police were often round there, like clearing out people who were going in for like quick smoke and shit like that. So I thought I'd go round and do that. And it was huge. It was like 2 floors, the roof and everything. It was great. Just a little explore. But, you know, it doesn't, I think that people who are doing their exercise, like I'm going to go out and do exercise, you can go out and do an explore. You're going to learn things about your towns and your villages where you live that you never knew were there, because you can legitimately go out, walk around, and you probably find out things you've never ever realized were there. So there's no reason to be stuck in the house, you know.
People were rude on there, so I took them off. So I just left one of my exploring pages up, removing the rest off, because people get arsy about urbex. That are, some paranormal people don't like it and can get quite arsy, and I can't be dealing with it, if you know what I mean.
Well, Matt, call my dog up, says Keith Potts, and we got Keith Potts and Keith Pointer. Let me see if we. Let me just see. I won't have to call her. I'll just go.
You. My dog ran away earlier.
I saw a little dog, a white dog, outside, you know, that's on its own, and it was like sort of looking around, and I drove past, it was looking at me and walked towards my car, and I came back 5 minutes later and it was still there, so I was beeping the horn, like beep, 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 to sort of like let the people know, like, I mean, do you know your dog's out on the bloody road, like, you know? It's like,
What is this question here? Any of you been to Milton Road Health Hydro when they had a paranormal investigators in? Where the hell is that? What's that?
That was a ghost. That was a ghost there. Did you see that? That was a ghost.
That was well clever.
Yeah, how did I do that? I knew that was happening. I knew that was going to happen. Here she is.
Oh, look.
Oh, I can't get my. I got my beers in the way. Whoa, shit! Everything's falling down. I can't.
Oh, if your trousers aren't falling down, we'll be all right, Matt.
Well, yeah. Hello. What's this then? What do you want? Do you want one of these?
That look.
Oh. You go. Oh.
I snatched it out of you.
Snatched it out of my mouth.
Milton Road Health Hydro baths are. Where are they? I need to ask a question. I have done some hydro baths, quite a few, so I'm not sure. Oh, the Swindon hydro baths. Yeah, really haunted.
Swindon.
Really active, full of energy. I had some really good stuff in there. A lot of table tipping, spirit.
Oh.
It was all going off in that place, and I actually have got the person up that does book that out coming on a live soon with me. So she's going to be on talking about all that. So that's Subra. I can't read. I'm not good. I'm dyslexic. R-E-O. Yeah, that. Thanks, Tina, for that. She just reminded me. But yeah, there's so many questions I can't count. Oh, what's this say? Why get RC about urban exploring if paranormal? Right, here we go. Some paranormal investigators don't like urbexers, and some urbexers don't like paranormal investigators. But I do both, and the people who don't like me, I don't talk to them anyway. But then the people in the paranormal field, if they like me, they like me. If they don't, but I am mindful. I try and do what I can, but at the end of the day, they can't take away what I want to do. But some people just don't like it, and I don't know why. There are some people say in the paranormal field that we're disrespectful, and that really offends me because I do both. So, you know, we could argue this one out forever, but I think we've all got our opinions.
Well, the thing is, we complement each other in some ways, because urban explorers are good at getting into places that a lot of people wouldn't like to climb and do things, and they can tell you whether or not they're achievable. You can actually do it, you know. So an urban explorer can lead the way to get paranormal explorers into a place, you know, as well.
Also, I've been told that the urbex people break it, which is an absolute crap, because I've walked in
I get that a lot.
And the one we did find not long ago, which was before Christmas, about a month before, before I had COVID, we went to one and couldn't get in it and left it. And we drove past another one, which went up to stay in the police house because we couldn't get in it. So we walked round it, looked up, see if we could climb anywhere, couldn't climb where, couldn't do nothing. So we left it. You know, there are ones sometimes you do have to just walk away from. But if there is a gap or is something that you can get through and you can get an arm, a leg, whatever through, or you can climb across the roof and drop down, or one of you can do it, open a door to let people in, then do it. Ladders, I've got ladders. I've climbed up into windows.
I mean, like, I just went for a walk around with my little camera earlier on. I heard that, I mean, because I'm always watching for news stories, I heard that this co-op was abandoned and that kids have been getting in there. So the thing is, it's like, you know, every video I've got, you know, you're going to get somebody say, oh, you broke in there. And it's like, well, actually, when I got there, these people said, are you all right, mate? Because they wondered whether I was, like, you know, up to no good. And I said, no, I'm just here with the camera. I'm going to try and film it. Then they went, oh, yeah, go round the back and go in by the church. You've got to climb up to get in there. And I was like, okay, thanks. I get round the back and the bloody door, the shutter doors are just open. And, you know, so many places out there have been visited by so many people before we ever turn up. I mean, the copper thieves. I mean, the whole place is stripped. The floorboards are up. The copper's gone. People have been spraying on the walls, and people have got the nerve to say, "You're breaking in there." Well, I'm the 100th person down the line after the original person who probably did break in there. You know, and it's like, so it's just it is bullshit. Yeah, we're kind of lucky. You know, we do get some good places, but people tip us off, and you know, we're always like looking for good places. I mean, eventually we're going to find them. I mean, all these people who are like, you know, jealous or angry or whatever.
Yeah, they get a lot angry.
Well, you know, we're out there doing it. Of course, if you're not going to be out there trying, you'll never find anything. You know, if you do go out, you'll be amazed at how much stuff is there. But you've got to get off your bum, go and have a look, you know, and that's when you find things.
People get funny because some people, like I've had to in the past, have to pay a lot of money for venues, and some venues like 300, 400, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 to £1,000. Now, then I've seen comments on Facebook, why should they go out? We've got to pay. I've seen it all, and I've kept my mouth shut because I just can't be dealing with ignorant people being ignorant. I can't deal with it. So I keep away, and I've not had many people challenge me, but I've seen the odd hint, but I'm one of them people anyway, like, I just not really give a damn about it.
I mean, you know, there are the Bearded Explorer was at the British Airways place. His video's already up there, right? Finders, Beepers, History Seekers. He's been there, right? So there's two people, right? And we're going there. This place has been there for 10 years, abandoned. It's got moss growing on the tables. The copper's been stolen. All the cable's been stolen. There's water coming in from the ceilings because of the copper thieves, right? And then somebody's going to like type in a comment, you broke in there. Really? Did I break in there? What? Through one of the 25 holes in the fence that are there? And, you know, these people, it's like, really? Do you watch my videos? Because it's like, you know, you see us literally walk up to a fence and there's a hole, walk in through the hole, the door's been ripped off the hinges, and then we walk in. I mean, it's crazy. I think it's just like there's some jealous people out there who just like to say, you know, oh, what are you doing that for? And it's like, well, I'm sorry. I mean, you know, if people want to just sit at home and just like take the mickey out of those that are actually going out and doing it, I don't know why would they watch the videos. If they think we're breaking in and they're so pissed off, why do you bother watching? You know, I mean, like, go and watch something else. Go and watch a channel where they go to places and they go, we can't go in there because there's a fence, and they don't walk around the fence to find if there's a hole in it. They go, I'd really like to get in that building, but I'm not going to go because I'm an honest guy, and it might be construed as breaking and entering, so I'm not going to go in there. And then, you know, that'll be a good channel, wouldn't it? Yeah.
Do I collaborate? I do go out with other paranormal people, but obviously because of lockdown, there's a lot of people that won't go out. But I do, you know, just message me. I do meet up with people. I don't meet up with many because I do a lot of stuff on my own, and because I don't. Well, what's the word? How do I put this without being rude or offending? I don't need to fake or do anything. Yeah, like I got a video that went up the other day. There's nothing on it. You'll get a video, nothing's gone. You'll get another video where it's loads of stuff. So people do watch my stuff and think, oh, nothing happened, but I'm not staging or doing nothing. I don't need to. So I don't tend to mix with many people because I you know, some people are very different to me. Let's just say that.
It can be hard. I mean, I've had problems with being open. You've seen this. There's one or two. 9 out of 10 are fine, but there's the occasional one who's, you know, they sort of like, they see you, they want to latch onto your channel and latch onto you, and and they don't have the best of intentions. They really do just want to like have a go and have a pop at you, you know. So I think you've got to be careful. You know, there's a lot of people out there. I mean, I hate to say this, but there's a lot of people out there want to invite you to come on something, and they go, "Oh, here's a place you want to go to this," because they want to see you get in trouble for going there, you know, and they want to call the police if you go there. So if you give me a link, the chances are I'm not going to ring you and say, "Do you want to come down that place?" Because they could be setting you up for something. You know what I mean? Like call the police and get them in trouble. Ha 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 ha. Some people get a kick.
Really send me any anymore.
Some people get a kick out of that sort of thing, and that to me is just like, it's like, hello, you know, because they're too afraid to come out and do it themselves, and they probably can't, like, they can't bring themselves to meet you, you know, maybe because they're afraid or are like a bit sort of shy or something like that. But the reaction that they get to your videos is like they either love you or they hate you. Well, if they love you, great. If they hate you, they're like, "Oh, I'll try and get him in trouble." You know, it's like, no, that's not.
You've had a bit of that, haven't you, Matt?
I've had a bit of that. Yeah.
I think we all get a bit of that somewhere, but I'm lucky because I don't really. I'm very last minute. Me, I could be sat here now if it wasn't locked down normally, and it could be this time of night. And we could just go, right, let's go 100 miles. And we're off. And I don't care if I get back at 4 or 5 in the morning or 6. I sleep for 4 hours, I get up and I'm fine. But, you know, it's quite exciting, like you said, though, isn't it? You don't know what you're going to expect. It's fun. And I think without it, I think we just rot away. Wait there, wouldn't mind doing an info at a place in Clifton that tortures spies. Clifton. Hold on, he's back. Come on then, Lol. I
just promoted my video. I put up tonight an abandoned house built into the rocks since the 1940s, where a soldier left and never returned. I put it up tonight. An amazing place me and Claire explored. Please check it out. Oxford's finest explorer.
I shall try and.
You won't come on camera though, will you?
No, I'm too camera shy. I get scared.
But you'll film on there and fall over fences.
Hi, Matt.
He's right, man. He's run. He's got up. He's really shy. Don't worry, I'm going to set him up one night.
Do you know what I was? I've come to the conclusion now about you saying you're a bit sort of like worried about people, and I have become that way now. I'm starting. I was very, very naive, and starting to just like, you know, let anyone. I'll go out with anyone. I'll do anything, you know. And I'm realizing that is really, it's dangerous. It's dangerous for you as an explorer or whatever. It's just dangerous in general, like meeting people you do not know. You've got to be a little bit careful. Now, what I do, and I know it sounds obvious, and you're going to go, yeah, duh, yeah. But what I now do is I literally, if somebody wants to meet me, I say, "Who do you know? Who do you know? No, who do you know? Because I will. Who do you know who you've been out with on Explorers? And I'll you'll know one of them or two of them, and then I will ring them and I'll say, look, what's this person like? Now that's the minimum standard. It's like I have to know somebody who's done something with somebody. I'm not going to go out with people who know nobody, because again, you know, if they don't know anybody, why don't they know anybody? You know, there might be a very good reason why they don't know anybody. Yeah, and it's not a good.
I know a lot of people, but I don't deal with a lot of people. Like I got my few friends which have been on here. Katie Explore. She does photography. She got her channel on here. She helps me out on here. She puts pictures up. Her partner, husband, Angie156. I deal with very few people. We meet up, quite loyal to each other. It's nice. And I've kept my group very small. Wee Man was on here earlier. We used to go out with him. We haven't been lately. We don't really. Me and Lowell just go off. And Lowell, by the way, is David, but his nickname. Hello, you'll wonder who Lo is, but we just go off out on our own if we can.
I got Katie Explores.
Yeah. She was on the fort with us. Katie and Adsy were on the fort with us.
Adsy, yeah. Adsy, yeah. So I can't put the name to a face, but I do remember. But there were so many people there.
The other lady was with me. That's Katie.
Yeah.
And then there was Adsy, but they were in the tent next to me by the bit of the door. Yeah, they're the two people that we talk all the time on the phone. They're always helping me out. They're brilliant. They're lovely people, and they know a lot about exploring. Go over to their channels too, Adsy156 and Katie, brilliant. You know, they don't get enough credit for what they do either. There's a lot of people out there that don't, and you know, they sit back in the background, and they should be getting more for what they do. And
we should go out and do a bit more of an explore together. Like, you know, I mean, you know, you like Chris, it was earlier, wasn't it, Chris?
Gary,
sorry. That's
Garry
what I meant
Fields.
to say. That's what I said, wasn't it? Garry Fields. Yeah. Gary. So you know Gary, well, you know, say to him, let's go down and do this, you know, Bristol place or something. I am going to meet
up with him. I'm going to go up and meet when the lockdown's over. He has to be careful because of his job, what he does anyway. So he has to be very careful. And we're going to go around some lands and castles and stuff and do things like that because he likes that stuff and I like that stuff. Because like when you do your videos, you do your drone footage at the beginning of your videos and you look around, I find that really interesting and intriguing that you do that. I haven't got a drone. I'm going to have to save my arse off one. But I love that type of exploring too, and when you put that in a video, I think that makes your video.
I was so tempted to get my drone up, but it was Heathrow, and it kind of I was like 1 kilometer from the runway, and like when you went up on top of the building is the best view it's the best view in town. It's like literally you're on top of the building, and we could go up there at night. Yeah, and we could just sit up there at night, and probably don't put torches on. We could probably up there all night, you know, with cameras looking at all the planes coming in and out of Heathrow. But Heathrow was quiet. I mean, I know London.
Unless you're going to Dubai.
Yeah, well, that's it. There was loads of Emirates aircraft coming in. They were all still coming in from the Emirates. Yeah, but the thing is, it's like they say that every minute there's an aircraft landing at Heathrow. And it was they were only using one runway, not two. And in that one runway, it wasn't every minute; it was every 5 minutes. So you're talking about 1/20th probably of the capacity of Heathrow is because nobody's going anywhere right now. And that was weird, you know, just seeing the occasional aircraft coming in, you know. So that was bizarre. But what a view on top of that building, and you're just like you've got it to yourself.
In a flat at the top, and they got a balcony, and they play decks, they do DJing, and they go on the rooftop. When the planes come over, I went there, I've been there once actually, I haven't been up there because it's lockdown. They just moved. When the plane went over, it didn't even look far away from your head. It's like massive, and I'm like, how do you deal with that coming over every 5 seconds? Knock your head off.
You want a prediction, right? This is my prediction. I know aircraft are very reliable and they don't go wrong much, but there was once an incident where an aircraft was coming in over London and its engine failed and it only just made it to the end of the runway and crashed. Remember that one? Yeah. Now, if an engine goes out over London, boom. Yeah. Now, the westerly side coming in, so you'd be coming in on 09 runways, 09 into Heathrow, has nothing. It's countryside. If you come in and take off that way, then if there was ever an accident with an engine, you're not going to kill loads of people. But they insist on bringing them in over London, which in my eyes is not just retarded, it's criminally insane. But there you go. You know.
A few people saying the drone would have probably refused to launch. That was Ducks Go Quack.
It would have, but I have always
random TVs on here.
Yeah.
He said that Heathrow has installed drone detection
equipment. Yes, it has. Yes. So it might have got jammed out by some of that equipment. Plus, also, you'd only have a couple of minutes of time before they knew exactly where you were and they'd be sending out the police, and they would be quick. It would be a rapid response. So yes, and it's just irresponsible behavior. I was like, well, you know, it would be rude to do this here at Heathrow, but now would be the ideal time to ask permission. Can I fly my drone? Because it's not so busy right now. I mean, they would never give you permission normally, but literally it's so You know, you could actually get permission right now. You know, like air traffic control. I'd like to fly a drone. Oh, we'll have to think about this. It's like, well, come on. You know you're not busy right now, and they're like, don't come near the active runway. Yeah, you can go over the other one. You know, it's like it's possible. You might be able to get permission to fly up and down the inactive runway at Heathrow if you got a drone right now, if you ask them nicely the proper way. But in the normal circumstances, you'd never get permission.
What's that about a plane? Tom Metzger. I can't pronounce that name. Sorry, Todd.
Tom Metzger.
Can you read that? Most commercial planes can survive a flame out in the engine in normal conditions.
Yes, they can. You have one engine go out, but some engines have had two engines go out. But the thing is,
I'm terrified of going on an airplane now.
Yeah, the thing is about an aircraft is they won't really be able to climb, but they can probably just about maintain their engines going in. But I mean, it didn't help that aircraft trying to make it to the end of the runway, did it? For Heathrow. When that happened, it didn't have much option, did it? It's just one engine. No, it still didn't make it to the runway. So all I can say is just like if you're the planners and you think like flying them in over London, which is obviously noise for London. London doesn't need that noise, yeah, right? And then you've got countryside the other way. Make them fly in the quiet way, not over London. Make them fly in the way that if they come down, they don't crash into a big apartment building and kill 500 people.
When I came back from Turkey, the plane, he shouted something out on the thing, and he went up the motorway, the M40, all the way up from down south. Followed the motorway all the way up above it. I don't know if he was allowed, but yeah, I remember he shouted out, "We are now look above." He shouted something out, and I looked down, and it went all the way up to Birmingham. But Birmingham, it turns. Isn't that one of the most dangerous or hardest ones to land? Because they have to turn inwards. Apparently, it's quite an awkward one. It's the way they land and go out. But that always scares me because it has to sort of go round on itself.
Are you on about Turkey or Birmingham? Because Birmingham's pretty flat. It's not going to be hard. Birmingham's flat.
I don't like flying. I've only been out twice in my life. I probably won't ever go again unless it's an abandoned plane.
In the UK, there's nothing hard or dodgy in the UK at all. It's all a piece of cake. You got no problems. Yeah.
Oh, someone said, Lee said it's been nice and quiet in the skies. Right there. Oh, sorry, my computer's flashing up little boxes and right there. It's been nice and quiet in the sky, so let's.
It's been a positive. There we go. And Johnny Webb says they do use noise abatement. Yeah, they don't fly at night from Heathrow. I don't think they fly in the middle of the night. But, nonetheless, I mean, if they took off and landed out in the countryside direction, it's not going to be a problem anyway.
What's noise abatement? I don't know what that is. I'm a woman.
Noise abatement just means that they have to limit their noise. So therefore, they don't do full power takeoffs and things like that. They sort of they do longer runs and gentler takeoffs, and things like that. So they're not using like full power. And they don't operate into the night. So it means that there's a cut-off time. So I think even Heathrow, they don't fly in the middle of the night. They have to get everything in during the daylight hours up to like 9 o'clock at night or 10 o'clock or something like that. And then that's it. Yeah.
At the minute, the only air things are going, I think, is it Dubai's going out? So it'd be cargo and stuff like that and things like that coming in and not.
Possibly a lot of that, yes, which comes into a lot of airports. And I mean, you can bring aircraft in quietly. It's taking off is more noisy because they're idling most of they're actually coming in. They're using their height to sort of cruise in with the engine basically almost off.
Scary stuff. I don't like heights.
Yeah,
and that's why when I went down them car caves with Katie, she took me actually with two other people. I can't remember the names. One of them was called Paul, who's a photographer. That when I went into them car caves, I don't think you've been there, Matt, have you yet?
I haven't. No,
right?
I haven't been
I
there.
am terrified of heights. I got there, and my husband, Mr. Oxford, Mr. Brave Man, got there, turned round, said, "See you later," and when stood back up the top, I'm not going down there. I got there and thought, do you know what? I have got to conquer my fear. I went, come on then, I'm going next. Second, I shook all the way down. Heights, planes, anything like that, my stomach goes.
Well, we went to the 23rd floor of a building, and I'm all right when I'm inside a building because I somehow psychologically it feels like I'm protected because I'm inside, you know. But when I get to the roof, I go a bit weird. My head goes a bit weird, and I've got a pilot's license now. When I could be much higher than that building in an aircraft, and I'm fine because I'm disconnected from everything. It's like it's weird, but in buildings I get really weird, and so we went all the way to the top. And then we had to climb up, and I got up there, and I was like, "Oh my god, I can't believe the view is pretty crazy." It's one of the tallest buildings in Croydon. We went to the Nestle building. Yeah, and we went like up the top of there.
What's that one in London that everyone goes to? I got in there in the morning and didn't have to pay, and there's a restaurant at the top. And there's what's it called? That main one.
The Shard.
Yeah. I went up there and didn't have to pay. I got my security. They let me on and everything. I don't know how I managed that. Me and my daughter just walked in. Do not know. They let us through and into the lift we went. I nearly threw up.
Well, if you're buying food in there and then you're a customer, then you wouldn't necessarily have to pay. I mean, I don't like heights, but I mean, I went to one of the highest buildings in Chicago. It used to be the highest building in the world. It was like the Sears Tower, I think it's called. And it gets smaller and smaller and more spindly as it goes to the top. And I got up there and I was like looking around and I was okay because I was inside. There's something about being inside with glass in front of you, and it's like, I can deal with that. What I don't like is standing on the edge of something. And I literally watch all the Ali Law videos and all, you know, like Mr. Ali Law on my wall. I could got him up there. I watch all these videos and like I find myself unconsciously going like this. And my breathing is going weird. Like I sort of, they go to the edge and they look over, and I'm like, and I freeze, and I'm like, I'm not even there, and I'm freezing watching the video of them doing it.
What about them boys then that are on YouTube that walked across the Shard, went up it?
Oh.
If I was that lad's mother, I would have probably had a heart attack. And I watched it and it made me sick.
Yeah, Dinkum Aussie says Usama Lama standing on the edge freaks him out. Yeah, totally, 100%. I'd like to meet him at some point. I mean, I've met him briefly in London, just said hello, but I'd like to sort of meet him because he's done that Nestle building that we did the other day. But here's the funny thing, right? Here's the funny thing. Watch Usama Lama's video of the Nestle building.
Send me the link, please.
Yeah, I haven't put it up yet, but Osama Lama, he's freaking out because there's a pigeon sat on the ladder. And he's like, we'll have to go somewhere else because I can't go up there because of the pigeon. So he don't want to go up the ladder because of the pigeon, right? I don't give a shit about the pigeons. I'll put a pigeon inside my coat and just like have pigeons like I'll sellotape them to my head, you know, like a load of pigeons, like a pigeon crown, you know. I love pigeons. I think they're great, but he can walk on the edge of buildings like as if it's nothing big, you know. And I'm like, I couldn't even. When we got to the top of that building, I was all right standing in the middle. We were on the bit where the equipment is for cleaning the windows. So we were on that middle bit. My mate went to the edge. Jordan went to the edge. He was looking down. He goes, "Oh, you won't like that." And I said, "I'm not even going to have a look. I'm not. I don't even want to go near it. I don't want to go near the edge, you know." I'm all right in the middle, but I'm not going to that edge.
I can't heights, even exploring. I've had to climb some stuff that I really never thought I would ever have to do in my life, and I've like thought I'm more capable of doing things than I thought now. Roofs, I don't know about roofs, and ones I don't know. You went across some roofs. Was it in Bristol?
Yeah. We were on a crazy roof the other night. Again, Jordan, we had to get away from the security. It was the video that was on before I came on to yours, and I'm going. This roof is totally like falling apart. And Jordan, because he was in a rush to get away, he just went over the middle of it. And I was like, and all the boards are off it, all the slates are off it, and it's literally just wood, and the wood is rotten. And as I'm walking along it, it's like crunch, and I'm like falling to one side, and he went up over the middle of it, and I put a big warning saying, do not do this. Do not do that, because you will die. You know, you are going to die. If you don't die, I'd be surprised. You know, and I have to warn people because they're going to see us doing that and they're going to go, oh, well, you can do that then. You can walk across top of roofs. No, you can't walk across. You cannot walk across some roofs. Really, really bad idea. And I said to him afterwards, I said, what's wrong with you? What is wrong with you? I mean, like, we know stories of people who've gone through roofs and been in a coma and died. That's it, you know?
No, if you fall, that is a risk. I shouldn't have gone down them caves, but do you know what? I thought to myself, my time is up now, it's up. I took the risk, and I was probably very stupid, but there are other people taking the risk with me.
Oh, they just reminded me, actually, you're right. His face wasn't blurred in the video. Oh, shit. No, I made a mistake, and his face is meant to be blurred out, and there were 3 moments when I was watching it. I was like, oh, shit. His face isn't blurred. Oh, dear. Oh, that's done quite well. That video, bloody hell.
What video?
Private now, though. That one I'm talking about, the British Airways training complex. It's on private now. Shit. Because his face is, I was meant to put his face like, you know, blurred. And then there were 2 or 3 moments in there where it's just, you can see him clear as day. I don't know what happened there. Oh, exploring with Jenny V.
Where is she?
They're all putting their videos up, look.
I haven't looked. I need to look. Mine went up wrongly. I put one up today, and I put it up wrong because when I uploaded it, my daughter was messing about on my phone. I didn't private it, so it went up, and then I had to take it down.
Oh, sorry.
You can share the screen. I don't know how to do that stuff.
Exploring with Jenny V. Oh, she's got a new
entry point, guys.
Oh, look, they're breaking in, everybody. They're breaking in. They're breaking in. Breaking in through an open window. There we go. I'll have to watch that.
I've squeezed through a few fences and holes in my time, believe me.
Yeah.
I've learned how to get my body in positions I've never could get them in before. Especially when I cut my arm open, I had to get through.
I know. I was going into Dulwich the other day, and I was like, I saw this glass in the window, and I was like, hang on a minute. And I just took all the pieces of glass out because I thought, I've been down that road before. No, so I took all the glass out, and I was like, nah, don't really want to do that.
My husband's sulking, by the way, everybody. He'll have to do a live. You've been told, Mr. Oxford.
Me or him?
No, my husband said, Claire's got more subscribers than me now. I'm never going to hear the end of it.
Who dares wins?
Never hear the end of.
Who dares wins, eh? Let's see. Let's refresh it. So you had 449.
Come on.
459. You got a 10 since we mentioned it the last time. So subscribe, everybody. Go through the roof to the moon. I'm going to go get another beer. Is that all right? If I go get a beer.
Well, we've done really well because our views have been staying 140, 150, 160 all along. And that's good for me because I don't get any because you're here.
Well,
I'll let you go and get your beer.
Can do it again. We can do it again because I'm sort of like I could do bloody live streams every night, but I think it's just going to be oversaturation. It's like it'd be nice to go on other people's channels and kind of help them bring everyone over and get them a few subscribers. Go
and get your beer, Matt.
I'm a YouTube slut. I am. I'm a slut. I'm a YouTube slut. Star. I mean star. Star. That's what I meant to say. Star. Yeah. Whatever. Yeah.
Right. So there's loads of explorers here. I'm going to ask you the question now. This will start you all off. Who would use a Ouija board? Come on. Who would use one? If someone come round your house and mate, I've got a Ouija board, let's have a go on it. I just want to see out there out of interest, who would use it? Because I like causing arguments. So come on, anyone out there? Who would use the Ouija board? Do they think it's dangerous? Do they think it's a good tool? Do they think it can open stuff up? Let's see your opinions, because I use them all the time, but I'm still here. Yes, I think they're a good tool to use if you use them properly. I've got about 5 of them in the house, maybe more. Used but not more, so you might have had a bad experience. Yeah. See, I like using them because when I go into abandoned places, I try and get names, dates, history, which I could go back and relate to. I like to try and get what I can out of them. If you get one that's really helpful and intelligent that will talk to you, then that's brilliant. And that's what I like doing. That's if you get like a name and you go back and look it up and it's connected, then you know you've got your evidence there. But I don't like just doing it to mess or try and taunt or do anything like that. 9-year-old kids in Walmart. Yeah, I've seen the one in what's the one for sale in Toys R Us? There's one for sale in Toys R Us, isn't there? No, but I like to see who's in my house as in a ghost. I would never use it in my house. Like I use them, but I wouldn't use it in my house. It's all right, we're having a little. I just asked a question about the Ouija boards, just so everyone could talk.
Oh.
About Ouija boards, if you would you use a Ouija board, Matt? I just asked everybody, would they use one?
I have done, but I feel that sometimes that they're psychologically they influence. Well, no, they influence the people who are pushing the thing, and subconsciously they don't even realize they're actually subconsciously they are pushing it.
That's crazy, isn't it? I've had some good evidence though, like prisons, and I've got names and dates, and that's what I try to get out the spirit. If I can get a name and a date, like where's it called? I went to Cloud House. I got a name out of that house. I got a name out of there and a date. I went back because I didn't look at the history and I read it up, and I got the name of the owner of the house in 1906. No, was it 18 or 1940? Some date anyway. So I use it to find out, to confirm, just to get who lived in that house, who was here 30, 40, 50, 60, 70 years ago. I like to push it a little bit further. But there are a lot of people who said on here they wouldn't. It's true what you said. You get like the subconscious. I believe that can happen too. But then I've had personal messages 3 times. My partner passed away. He took his own life. My ex committed suicide. I'm not afraid to tell you that. He came through 3 times unexpectedly. I really could not believe it. So that's what opened me up more, made me believe. And I've been doing them for over 10 years. So I think
we share something there. Then my ex committed suicide.
Really. So it's it's quite, and it can mess you up. That can. It took me a long time to get over, but it's you learn again. It's another learning thing, isn't it? How to cope and learn how to look at people differently. You learn again from all different situations.
Yeah, I've had a few people around me commit suicide like that I was quite friendly with. I don't know, I must be an influence or something.
I've had enough of Matt. That's it. No. I think there's a lot we don't know out there. There's a lot of things people like the Isle of Wight. You didn't explore there actually on the cliff. You went to Sandown, Culver Cliff, renowned. The most
racist place in the world. Isle of Wight. Yeah.
Isle of Shite.
I love white. I love white. I love white people. Isle of Wight. Sieg Heil. I love white.
I'm from the Isle of Wight.
I love white.
I'm from there. I was born there. So yeah. I think it's the cliff you went on to. You went and did a fort over there, and you went in there. You walked actually under the bridge in.
Yeah. Ben Bridge or something. Ben
so that
something.
That cliff there is renowned for people to go up all the time. Not long ago, someone I know went off it. They are permanently coming over, jumping off it now. Right. I've been, in my past, off my head off drugs when I was younger. I would never jump off that cliff. Now, I've been distressed, sad, like I still wouldn't jump off that cliff. So to people to go that must be something that goes, something that really must be what, you know, I just wouldn't have the guts. I wouldn't have the guts.
I've got to be honest. I mean, I value my life, you know, and that's why I wouldn't do something like that. And I think that even when things are bad, they can get better. You know, I think my glass is always half full, not half empty. And I think the trouble is that the people I know that have committed suicide, they just can't bring themselves to believe that they're worthy, and they can't bring themselves to believe that they mean anything to anyone. And even though you tell them they do, they don't believe it. They go, no. And it's like, you know, their glass is half empty. It's not half full. My glass is half full. Yeah.
I wouldn't take my life unless it's going to be taken by someone else or natural.
Yeah. I mean, I like to think that, you know, if there was absolutely no hope and like, you know, I was terminally ill, maybe I'd have the guts to do it, but I'm not even sure I'd have the guts to do it. You know, if it was really, really bad, but, you know, maybe I'd have the guts to do it, but I probably wouldn't. And I wouldn't be jumping off the cliffs. It'd be like a quiet overdose of some nice drugs or something, you know. I'm going to be jumping off no bloody cliffs. That's going to be like, Aah! That's the last thing that go on through my head. It's going to be like, Aah!
Didn't you walk round the edge of the cliff because there's a fence and there's all thingies on it? If you went all round the edge, you would have seen all the memorials that were all around the edge of it.
Yeah,
it's sad, really. But when I saw that, I thought, whoa, because it's got a lot of history, that fort as well. And my brother-in-law worked in that fort where you went through that gate in a little bit somewhere. I don't know what was around there. But we used to pick them up at night, and my sister used to drive up there about 12 o'clock at night, and it's scary. That place is scary at night on that cliff.
I mean, I thought it was really quite nice. I liked it, but it was just the people who were there. You know, the people who were there were like all sort of, you know, yeah, like you can't be here, and it's like, well, you can't be here then. Piss off. What we should have done is they're like, you know, you can't be here. We should have just grabbed them by the scruff of the necks and dragged them out and just gone, well, you can't be here either. Piss off.
My mate jumped off Beachhead. Oh,
Beachyhead. Oh, yeah. I don't know. It's like,
I
just
don't
know. If those people who like want to jump off Beachyhead, I reckon on the way down they experience so much adrenaline that had they gone and done a few parachute jumps and got a bit of a hobby or an interest going, they probably wouldn't want to jump off Beachyhead. That's the problem. Is they probably saw the light when it's too late. It's like, oh my god, this is actually quite exciting. Oh yeah, boosh, and it's like, yeah. The thing is, there's loads of things you can do with your life, and there's loads of things you can do to keep yourself busy. I mean, you know, you don't have to have a friend. You don't have to have a relationship. You can be on your own. It doesn't matter. Everybody can find something to keep themselves occupied. You know, you don't have to worry. Just, you know,
this lockdown, and this is what I mean, are exploring. People like me, I'm like, suffer anxiety, bit of depression, have to fight it because that's just my chemicals in my brain. I accept that. I have to get on with it. I know that by going out exploring, having the people I've met keeps me sane and going. Without that, I just can't even explain how I would feel. I've put over 10 years ghost hunting. I've always tried to do something to keep me busy. I think in this lockdown we need to keep busy to keep ourselves, you know, switched on, because there's going to be so many people that are going to not be able to do that.
Yeah, it doesn't. I mean, I think that no matter how bad your situation, I mean, some people like they've got disabilities, they can't walk, they can't see, and they still survive. You know, they do things that everyone's got something that can keep them interested, can keep them going, and keep them going. You know, it's really, I think it's sometimes it's down to brain chemicals that people are like so depressed that they cannot get out of that. Well, you need to seek help, but you know, you need to get some help. But ultimately, I mean, a lot of people, they can be very fatalistic, like, oh, I'm never going to go anywhere with my life. Oh, there's no point doing an exam because what am I going to be? There's no point doing this because
Yeah,
I can't.
I've been
Do you know the one that gets me the most is I can't do this because I ain't got no money. Right? That's the one that's just like,
you know what?
go
Find
away.
a way.
Go away. You can't do it because you ain't got no money. Well, there you
It's
go.
like me. I've got a crap phone and a GoPro. It dies, right? No camera, a crap computer. I
Yeah.
still go out there. I still manage to edit on crap. I manage to do a live on crap. Yeah, it works. Just do it until you can one day sort yourself out and you get it. But it all takes time. I've got a GoPro saved up for. I got it, but it's crap, and I wish I never bought it. Because I asked you on the thought about the camera. You said about 600, and on your live the other day, you were on about people when they go and buy a camera, they ask you, and then they go and buy a crap one, not for 600, and then they wonder what's crap.
There are people, you give them advice, right? And you say, what camera should I have? And you go, look, buy this one. It's 600 quid. It'll do everything you want. It'll be magic. It'll shoot at night, everything, right? And you don't need to buy expensive lenses. Just buy this. And they go, and they go buy a 200 quid one. And they go, it's shit. And then they go and buy a GoPro. And then they go, it's shit. And then they go buy another one. And they go, it's shit. They've now spent 600 quid. They'll go buy every little thing rather than spending one good lump of money to get the good one. They're going to say, all right. I mean, I'm the same. I'm trying to like skimp and, I bet this can work. And it's like I'm always disappointed. You know, it's like,
That's why I make my videos on this crappy phone.
They're good. Phones can be good.
What was it I was going to save up for? That drone I asked you about. I was saving and I did have money, and then my car decided to cost £700 about 2 weeks ago. Bearings, tyres, brakes, you name it, MOT. And I'm like, oh my God, I've just saved up for a drone and now I've got to spend it on the car.
Well, the thing is as well, I mean, like my channel is looking after me, It's literally like, I mean, people want me to go and do things. They're giving me money and I'm getting, ad revenue and things like that. And it's paying for me to go on these explores. And I'm just like, wow, I'm getting to do what I want to do. And it works like that. And I think if people can see that you're enthusiastic, they will support you. So,
I think,
but some people want it. Some people out there want to have the best equipment and then they do nothing with it. Yeah, and they almost expect it, like as if like Daddy's going to buy me this, or everyone should buy me this, and I should have this. Why haven't I got this? And the thing is, when they get it, they don't do anything with it. It's far more important. Somebody who's got a crap camera but is trying really hard is better than somebody with a good camera that does bugger all with it. Yeah.
See, I'm just going to save, and when I get some money up, I want the drone. I messaged you about the drone. You said the one to get, so. That's my focus to get that one you said now. And I even said to my husband, right, can you go ask? And he said, no, because you won't let me use it.
Yeah.
So he said, I said, you probably crash it anyway into a river.
Hey, so, you've got 20 more subscribers since we last checked. It's now 472.
Thank you, guys. But I'm just going to get on with my little way I've coped for a year with crap. And when I've got out of this crap lockdown and sorted other things out that need to be done, I want to get that drone, but then I do need to get rid of my GoPro because it's crap.
Well, they're all right, but they're okay in the daytime. They're just not good at night. I mean, and I've been looking into this recently. I was going to buy myself one of these little body worn cameras. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm not. They can be okay, and they've got infrared like illuminators and stuff. But the thing is, it's one for security, because when I'm climbing around, I can't hold a camera so much when I'm climbing.
There's some good ones you can get, night vision ones as well.
Yeah. Now the thing is, it's for when you get nabbed by security or the police. It's like you're constantly recording, so I'll have a record of what's happened. That's part of it, and it's to be hands-free as well. So I'm not expecting the best quality in the world out of it, but it's just so that when I've got to put that good camera back in my pocket, because it happened the other night at Nestle, we evaded 4 security guards right? And we were creeping along on scaffold above them, and they were shining the torches up through the cracks in the scaffold to see where we were, and we were just creeping along, and then we had to like crawl through water, hands and knees through water, to get past them. And we got past them, and it's like, right, now we're at an end of the building that nobody would go. Now, to me, I always go, right, for like, they know where we're going to come because it's obvious. There's pinch points. They know everyone always tries to get through this point. They know the pinch points. So I said, so we can have a breather because we've tried everything and they know where we are. Let's go for somewhere they would never imagine us to go. So it's the place that doesn't have the scaffold. It's that place down there. It doesn't have any scaffold. So there's no way we can get down. So we went there. And when we got there, there was a door open. And we got inside the building, and guess where we were? In the security office.
Oh my goodness!
We escaped from security by going through their office. Yes,
that is crazy.
So one place they would never have expected us to go. And even then, we were like creeping around, and we opened a door, and they were standing there, and one of them looked like, what? It was like, what? I was like, shit, back in. And we like running through the building, and we got out of there. And it's like, because we didn't give up. That's what it's about. It's about not giving up. It's about
what? Adrenaline must have been going. That's what I say.
Yeah, I was nearly throwing up like at the end of it.
The problem is when your adrenaline goes, everything goes. You want to go to the toilet. It's like when you get to the location. My husband would tell you this. Every time we approach the location, he's like, I need a shit. I'm like,
exactly. That's me. That's totally me. I'm like, I like these wolfy things, right? But ultimately, I have the arse of a sheep. Yeah, because every time anything happens, I'm like, need a poo. Need a poo.
Helen's gonna kill me. Poo. I'm like, for God's sake, do you have to? And like, we have to always say, you haven't done this here, have you? We want to make sure we don't tread in.
Yeah. So
it's true. And it's like, we went up the other day and he said, are you getting that thing back in your stomach again? We're getting there. And I went, little bit. He went, I am.
But the thing is, it makes sense, right? Like any good sheep, they like to run away from things, yeah? So they lighten the load. That's what they're doing it for. It's nature's way of saying, lighten your load because you may need to run. You know, so it's like you need to lighten the load. Yeah. I sometimes I'm light as a feather after I've gone to some places.
Clear out. Good clear out. No, that is horrible when it happens as well. And when like you've got to a place and then say you're dodging somebody or you've got to climb up somewhere. Oh God. Or it comes on suddenly and you've got to do a runner.
But we got two great pieces of footage. Like we're on this thing and Jordan's coming down a ladder and I go, shut, stay there. Because if he came down at that moment, the guy would have seen him. Stay there. So the guy turns away and then I get up the ladder and it's like, and so we got footage of that and that's classic. And then another piece is like when we come out to this door and we open the door. Now these bastards have put these pieces of metal against the door. So if anyone opens the door, the metal goes ka-chong and it's like makes a huge noise. So these bastards, right? They know that people are going to come through there, but we've come through from their side, so we can see the pieces of metal because now we're inside. Yeah, it's not on the outside trying to come in and letting the metal on. We're inside coming out. So we move the metal to one side. Yeah, and we come out.
Is it worth taking a bog roll and explore? We probably find one in there.
It's very, very important to get a bog roll, or at least wrap a load of it up and chuck it in your pocket. It's really important. Yeah. Do you know what I do? Because I've got doggy bags, right? My doggy bags. I get a doggy bag. No, not like you think. No, it's all right. It's all right. It's not what you think, right? I get the doggy bag and I get these wet wipes and I pull about 10 or 15 wet wipes, yeah, and I put it in the doggy bag and then I roll it up and put it in my pocket because if you didn't, your pocket would get wet. So that's why I put it in the doggy bag and put it in my pocket. But then I got nice wet wipes, so my bum is pristine. There you go.
Oh, a tip for you then, my husband.
Yeah.
I'm always swearing at him, for God's sake. He says, stop the car. And I'm like, what, here? Yes, here now. I'm like, why? We have a domestic before we do film some of our domestics, especially the other day. Wait, when a domestic, when he fell in that river and he got out and he said, I'm going to fucking throw you in there. And I was laughing all the way back to the car.
Why do people think I go in the toilets in some of these places? I'm always exploring the toilets, right? It's because if the toilets look all right and looks like, you could sort of get away with it, so like have a nice time in the toilet and just do what you got to do, I
think my husband done that once, and then wee man went in there afterwards and come out and said, God, there was a weirdest smell in that place. It was evil. It was evil.
Look, hey, folks, right, we're just telling you about the reality of exploring, okay? I mean, this is the reality of exploring, especially when you've been climbing in somewhere. Oh, sorry. I just have a fit. Sorry, just having a fit.
Bless you.
Thank you. But it's the reality. It's like, you need to go, and especially if you're like, there's not many places open, especially in the middle of the night. All the bloody motorways, well, not motorway services, but all the garages are all closed. They won't let you in. You got no toilets.
Wales, they are. When you're down Wales Way and you drive back, there's nothing at all, and it's evil when you come back from there. I actually hold mine all the way back and feel like I'm going to die, but my husband don't. He just makes me stop the car in the middle of anything, and I'm like, for Christ's sake.
Yeah, Chris Partridge says, I've just arrived. What was Matt saying about? We're talking about taking your trousers down in locations and having a poo.
No, it's just what happens, that urge when you haven't been for a while. And I was just saying, we went to one the other day, just me and my husband and daughter, so we weren't near anybody. We were in our own car. Yeah. And he said to me about in the car, first thing he said when we were approaching it, uh-oh. And I went, for God's sake, not again.
Oh, no. Yeah.
There's no toilets here. I just want to get in there and out of there. Now we got to stop.
So, okay, here's another one for you, right? You wake up, you get out of bed, you have some food, you have a cup of tea. Now, the tea gets you going in the morning, doesn't it? That's the reality, yeah? The tea gets you going. It starts you off. So you like, oh, I need to go to the toilet. But the thing is, if you've got up and you've got going and then you're on the road and it's early morning and you're going to do an explore, right, you're going to get that. By the time you get to that explore, if you're lucky, you'll be desperate to go. So the first thing you need to do, and often I'll have to stop and have a cup of coffee. So coffee on explores, long trips, coffee, tea, keeping yourself awake, right? The reality is you're going to get to somewhere and you're going to be absolutely desperate to go. So, people talk about, they go, he breaks into places, he breaks into these places, and he steals things from them. I don't steal, I don't break in, and I don't steal. I leave things behind. There you go. Right. I don't steal nothing. I leave things behind.
Rock forms.
Right? There's more left at a location when I've been there than when I arrived. Okay? There you go.
Oh, wow.
Jenny V's going, shh, shh. Jenny V.
Because every time, I bet she is. I know what it's like.
Yeah.
Especially when you've got no toilet roll, and then my husband has to take his stuff.
Why do you think all the toilets are always smashed in these bloody locations, right? And you go, why is everybody smashed the toilets? They're like smashed to smithereens. It's like, here we are, we're in a location. Oh, look, the bloody toilets are all smashed. Why? Because those evil bastards know you need a toilet. That's why they smash them up. Smash them.
No, they do it so that you can't do it when they get there. Fuck that, we don't want to have them coming in here shitting. Let's do that. Or they nick the toilet. Nick the toilet.
Yeah.
If you had that, they took the sink, the toilet, and the pipes.
Yeah, Lee says he now knows what happens when the battery dies. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's the one. See, you know it so well. My battery has just died. I'll be back in a minute, folks. Yeah, that's the one.
No, it's personal. My husband's firing it back at me now.
Oh God. I'm getting a headache from laughing too much with this. Actually, it's like my head's starting to like.
But no, I think like exploring is fun. See, like all the things you do, even that's funny. Everything is funny. Even paranormal. When I'm out doing my ghost hunts, it's funny. You're not always serious about it. There are your good up and downs. I do enjoy it, but you know, I think if I didn't do it, I'd go nuts.
Yeah,
It helped me through when my ex died. It helped me a lot just because I had something else to focus on. You know,
getting out in general, like walking the dog, is great for clearing the mind, or just going for a walk.
Run off. My dog runs off. Don't come back.
Oh.
She's got with it in her. She goes. She's gone. That's it. I'm like an hour later, still calling Bella, and then I get an anxiety attack because she don't come back and it's getting dark. No, I try not to let her off the lead now. But yeah, I wish she did come back. Walking's brilliant.
My first dog, he was a bit like that. You know, he was our. You know, we had him, but he was very independent because he used to wander around the streets. So he was very independent, and he had this like little sort of like streak in him, and he was like, I still need to have my independence, you know. So we go for a walk, and you could see he's distancing himself from you, and you're like, come here, because you know what's going to happen next. And it's like, and then he would just literally like put his head down. And he'd be like, I'm going, I'm sneaking away now, and that was it. You know, 3 or 4 hours later, he'd come back home, you know, on his own. He'd be like, I'm happy now, I've gone. You know, some animals are like that, you know, but yeah. Maybe you need to get one of those little tracker collars, so if the dog runs away, you can work out where they are. Yeah.
She'd probably rip it off. Yeah, she gives me. I suffer anxiety anyway. And then the other day, a staffy. I've had all staffies. Quite a lot I've looked after, but one would pounce down. She went towards it, tried to attack her. Of course, she's somersaulting in the air, trying to grab its throat. I'm like, oh, I'm having an anxiety attack now. And then this other staffy's trying to kill her. She's trying to kill the staffy, and I'm thinking, oh my god, if it locked jaws on her head, she'd be dead. So then I had an anxiety attack up there for that. So I just keep her on the lead at the minute. I can't be dealing with it. She's a bit scatty. It must be the whippet in her. It must be. Don't want to come back. Just no recall, nothing. We've still got a lot of people in here. Do you know that?
Yeah. Well, that's good. 131 last I looked.
Got a lot on here. Thank you for what.
You got 480 subscribers, so it's starting to trail off on the subscribers now. It's starting to trail off.
About having a poo. It's gone from paranormal to poo.
Well, you were getting more subscribers when we weren't talking about poo, so I suppose we'll have to take this as a, you know, like. It's, you know, talk about ghosts, talk about exploring, talk about the reality of exploring. They don't want to know. Dirty secrets and facts about exploring. Don't want to know. Yeah.
I want to talk about. Well, what's the weirdest? Well, we didn't get this out. What's the weirdest experience you've had out when you're exploring, which you thought was a bit dodgy, paranormal, bit made you think? What place made you feel creepy?
I think I've seen people having sex once in a place. That was weird. Ah! Yeah. Yeah. And they didn't stop either. They were like, so I was just like, oh, forget that then. Paranormal. It's going to be having my trousers pulled down, but it wasn't negative. It was actually felt really exciting and happy because it felt like it was a happy spirit.
You would have felt it. Where was that again?
That was in the Bristol Royal Infirmary. It was a children's hospital. Yeah, and it was down where the morgue is in the basement. You know, like that's where that happened. Yeah.
What else happened there? Anything else up and down there?
What, in that particular building? Not really in the rest of the building. No, just down there. That was the only place where things started happening. And in the morgue itself, there was nothing happened in the morgue itself. It was around the corner from the morgue, in the corridor. And I just got the feeling that it was like this spirit that was a child, playing there because it was like a corridor, and it was like, and it wasn't meant to be there, and it used to always go where it wasn't meant to go. You know, the spirit did. You know, so that's why I just got that feeling. It was like a playful young spirit. And I got the feeling as well because there a lot of children in that place were had developmental or speech
So-
problems, and they would be trying to coach them on the speech, and they would be deafness issues and
So
blindness.
that would be funny, wouldn't it, to a child?
Mm.
Doing something like that would really entertain a child, especially if you can
Yeah.
see them.
Well, because the reaction they get as well is like, running up and like doing something naughty, is like, and they get a reaction like everyone's going like no and laughing, and they, of course, they don't then connect it with negativity, because it's just everyone is having a giggle, like, and I got this feeling that we might be dealing with like a very young mind, or a very sort of like underdeveloped, kind of IQ level or something like that. It was like, but very happy, very happy spirit, but like not necessarily communicative. This is how they used to maybe communicate. It was like doing little tricks and doing little jokes.
I'd like to go there. That'd be really interesting. I love places like that. What about I've always thought this when I see you go to that letterbox place, in them caves, even watching it, they felt weird. I don't know, because I'm sensitive, so no one will probably understand this. But I felt in them caves there was something. Did you feel anything in there?
Letterbox caves? Which ones are you on about now?
Letterbox.
You mean the red door?
Red door, yeah, that's
red door, yeah. The red door box.
They felt weird. I feel. Look, I can't explain it, but I pick up. I don't know. They just felt weird.
There's a lot of anxiety and tension there from mostly the people that are there that haven't done it before. You get that they're definitely on edge because they've not done it before.
Energy.
Yeah, it's almost like you don't know how to walk. They're trying to run, so they're panicking themselves. You have to pace yourself. It's like when you get down there, it's like no, take your time. Relax, enjoy the experience. But they're all like, no, I must move, and we've got to get through here. And it's like, and they're not learning to pace themselves. And it's like when they come out, like I did it because I remember being like that. And when you come out, it's that feeling of elation. It's like, oh my God, sky, fresh air. Oh my God, I can't believe I've done it. I'm alive. I've actually made it out, because they really believe like they're lost and they're never going to be found and they're never coming out. And so there is that palpable tension down there. And I don't know whether that's caused by the place itself. I think it's probably just because of the situation, what people are going through, and I mean, it's
the energy of them. I've picked up though. Maybe it was the anxiety because of not knowing when you got to where it was what would happen, because there's a lot of security things going on there now, isn't there? So that may be what I picked up on. But I've watched it and I just thought, well, I'd like to go there, but I probably can't get in there now. But
you could definitely get in there, but I mean, the thing is, people, they like to do it, but it's very muddy. It's a long slog, it's not a quick thing. You got to climb a lot, and it's a lot of exercise, and you need to have food and water with you just to keep yourself going, really. I mean, you could survive for 9 hours without food or water, but just to make it nicer, just to make it more friendly on your body, you have to have those sorts of things with you. But you need to be, I always say to people, expect at the worst, but it's probably going to be 8 hours underground. And you tell them this, but they don't take it in, and then when they're there for 8 hours and it's coming on for 9 hours, they're panicking. And I go, no, I told you, prepare for 8 or 9 hours, but they just don't believe you, because they're like, oh no, it's not going to be like that. It's like, no, it is going to be like that.
It's like car caves. When I went there, I was told I was going to get wet.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Wet. My boots up to my knees, were full of water. Water in my wellies. I don't even know how I didn't get a cold or anything. I was in there for hours and it was freezing. So
it's a double-edged sword, because you can wear complete waterproofs, and I can wear my waders. I think
didn't you bring them on to the fort?
Yeah, they're really like 20 quid a pair of waders, but you're going to get sweaty inside the waders, but at least it'll be warm sweat and it'll be held in, so you stay warm. But you're going to get wet inside your waders just from your own sweat, So, but it's not as bad as coldness from puddles you're going through. And we really needed them in the catacombs. Oh boy, because we were literally hands and clothes through sewage. We were going like this through sewage.
Where's the catacombs? What ones?
In Paris.
Oh, you're so lucky. I went. Oh, I'd like to go in them ones. I went in the small catacombs. I can't remember where they are.
Definitely invest in waders. That's all I can tell you. And waterproof gloves, not just gloves, waterproof gloves, because you're going to be putting your hands down in sewagey water, and you just don't need that shit. Literally.
Don't need that shit.
You don't need that shit.
I see some video the other day. Someone put up crawling through clay. I can't remember his name. I can't remember his name. Oh, what's his name? I don't know. Anyway, he was crawling through tunnels and his mate got stuck in the bloody clay. But on the Isle of Wight, we got the red slipper and the pink slipper and the blue slipper. And people that don't know about beaches don't know about that. You avoid it because it will suck you up.
Suck you up. Oh, I'll get down there then. Right.
Players Beach on the Isle of Wight. And you just off right here. Go down there to the right of it and you'll get sucked up. Yeah.
I tell you what, I had a really scary experience at Barry Island, where I did a drone fly over Barry Island, but people don't realise it's like quicksand, getting out to the island. There's a road, but if you go down into the bit that just looks like sand, there's a bit, and it's quite. It was scary. I mean, now I know that what you're meant to do with that is you're meant to move quickly and you're meant to keep on your hands and knees and crawl across it. But I was going up to my waist in it, and it was like, fuck. I was scared as a kid. I was so freaked out. That was one of my first most, like, oh my God, what have I done? I shouldn't have done this experiences, like, as a kid. The other one was trying to climb up a really steep cliff that was like that, and just looking down and thinking any moment now I could fall and that'd be the end of it. And it was just like, but you have to keep going because it was easier to go up than to go back down.
Same as the caves. Keep going.
Yeah.
Don't look down.
Yeah, it's actually easier because you can crawl upwards, you can keep going upwards, but to go back down to try and reverse,
harder.
Yeah.
No, I hate it when I get to places and then I am scared of heights, even jumping over fence because I haven't got no cartilage in my knee. My husband gets over and he said, "Come on then, jump." I'm like, "I can't because my knee, I've got the cartilage." He goes, "Just jump," and I'm screaming, "I can't jump." And he said, "Just bloody jump, they catch you." I'm like, "I'm too heavy." But I managed to get over stuff. But it is, like I've just said, I've managed to do a lot of things I don't think I can do. I have days where I can't even get up my stairs. My leg won't even bend. But, I've done stuff, honestly, in these explores, gone up stairs. Where's the one? Oh, what's that big tunnel thing? Air testing centre.
Oh, the anechoic chamber.
I haven't put it up. It's been on there for months and months.
It's good, isn't it? It's good, that place.
Oh, good one. Security. Right. I couldn't be bothered to go up the windy stairs, yeah?
Yeah.
Because I've been there once and I took Katie back with me. And I couldn't be bothered to go up the stairs. So I said, I'm just going to stand down in the bottom room on my own in the dark. I didn't give a crap because I'm not really scared of things like that. Next thing, I hear footsteps. I'm thinking, shit. So I ran through there in the dark with my torch off because I thought they could see me. And I got up them spiral stairs in 1 second away from the security. But, I don't even know I've done
security there. I've never seen the security apart from in his hut. Out. Yeah, I saw the security in his hut and he was sitting there with his hands like that and it was like his head was down. And I walked up behind him and it was like within 2 or 3 feet of him. I was like, put through the window. I was going like, yes, hello. Behind his head. And he was like, hey, he's going to be pissed off when he sees this because he was there just like in his hut. Are we going to break 500 subscribers? Look, folks, you're the ones that can make it happen.
My husband will cry.
Go on. I'm refreshing it.
I will film him.
484 subscribers. Come on. Just click that subscribe button. You don't have to. You don't have to
It's
have the
odd,
bell icon
yeah.
on. You don't have to have the bell icon on if you don't want to watch all the videos, you know, all the time. But just subscribe. You know, give a little love. Yeah, I reckon we'll get 500 subscribers tonight.
Thing is, bloody YouTube take them away. That's the problem. I've had people go on there, wake up in the morning, think, woohoo, go on in the next day, like, huh, where did they go? That is the problem with YouTube, and I don't know why they seem to do it to the small people that have got bugger all. But,
Well, I think it's when you've got people who've got more than one account, and sorry, when you got more than one account, sometimes they aggregate them. They aggregate them, and then you kind of like go, oh, you know, they're all coming from the same person with different accounts, and then they take it down. Yeah, it's like, because I mean, I've got 10 YouTube accounts for various things. They're not like what, you know, they're real accounts, but for other things I manage for other people and stuff as well. But if I was to subscribe on those 10 accounts to you now, you'd get 10, but it would go back to being probably 1 at the end of it, because it's all coming from the same master account, you know.
Well, someone's right about Cheddar Gorge. I've been in there. I think I've been caving. I did something with my kids. After my little boy's dad died, they give us a family fun thing to go for like a holiday. Take my kids. I've actually got photos of this. I absolutely loved it. I went in the caves through where is it? It's called the letterbox. That's what I'm getting mixed up with. Dived in the letterbox, through the water, crawled through there. My daughter had a fit because she was scared, but it was amazing. Because someone's just written on here about the caving and crawling around in the water at Cheddar Gorge. I've done all that. I love it. I absolutely love it. Nothing better than that.
There's the Cheddar Caves, which have recently been closed because of COVID and everything like that. They've just closed them, so that's it now. So that's going to be a good place to explore. Didn't hear it. You didn't hear it here first. And then you've got Wookiee Hole, you know, which is a different. So they're going to be up for grabs pretty soon, I'm sure. You know, if things keep on going the way they're going, because these places can't just survive. Yeah, these places can't stay open if nobody can come and visit them. And yeah, there we are. Don't forget my latest video, me and Parnormal 666, put up on my channel tonight. Abandoned house built in the rocks. Soldier went to war and never returned. Built in the rocks. Abandoned since World War II. That's not that place that's not that place that Sam and Jess went to recently, was it? Like a house built in the rocks. Yeah.
Are you still on? Someone wrote to me. I don't know who that is. Yeah.
Well, I don't know. Yeah, I'm still on. I'm still on. Proper. Yeah, I'm still there.
There's an abandoned hotel and pub in Cheddar. There's probably 100 abandoned bloody hotels around.
Which is when you said about Cheddar, I went like this. I went, my finger went, and I went, and I was thinking, I still should get back there and have a look at that. Yes. Yes. Shh. See, there's so many places I need to go, and when something jogs my memory, I go, oh, because there's so many places. Yeah.
You need your memory jogging a lot. Like me, actually, I forget things, forget names, I forget people.
I got a big list of things that I need to go to. And do you know another thing as well? I put all pins in my Google Maps, so my Google Map shows me. They disappear. They disappear off my maps. 100%, they disappear. So I've got another place. I have a list, an actual text file, because those bloody pins, they disappear. That's not paranoia. They disappear. I've gone.
I can't find pins in my phone.
Yeah, and I've literally gone. I put a pin down. I've gone put it in my Urbex file, and I've gone right, and I've stopped it and started it again. And it's like, no, it's not there. So I've gone and done it a bit across the way near it. I've done it again and saved it, and then I go back, and it's still not there. Some places, I don't know what it is. They will not go in. You know.
What's this? That one.
So that's yeah.
Thank you, Bad Gaming 60s. Give me a lot of support here. Thank you. No, I think with pins, I'm so bloody forgetful. I put in them and I put them in my phone and I forget what one it is because I don't write on it because I'm lazy. And then I've got all these pins on my phone. I have to zoom in and have a look at them. And then there's places that I didn't even think I had. And then I've obviously gone, oh, I haven't got it. And then I've like got to places and gone, hold on a minute, this is on my phone. I've done it so many times. I've even got pins that I've got from places somewhere I don't even know. But they just turn up on my phone. I'm like, where'd they come from? The spirits.
There's still places on your. I haven't done this. Tons of them. I haven't done.
I want to do the thing you said about the UFO spotting thing. My husband's into that.
Well, down at Rendlesham, I want to do the control tower at Woodbridge Air Base because there's a control tower there. And I wouldn't mind getting in there because the top of it is disintegrated, but you've got the panels where they would have had the radar screens and everything like that.
Wow.
Just the panels, you know, but the roof is off it. It's just open to the air.
Thank you, Barry. There's some good people, and it's still good views on here. Normally when, well, it's because you're on here, Matt, obviously. Mine have 20 people. Oh, thank you. Appreciate it.
How does the Queen do it? She goes like this. She goes.
Oh, yeah, that's the one.
Yeah.
You just need the white gloves.
Oh my God!
You need
It's
the white
happened.
gloves.
It's happened.
Yeah, 5. Where is
It's
it?
happened. It's happened.
Has my husband had a breakdown yet?
Oh my God. Nobody in the chat has said it. Hang on. Oh, no, they did. Bad Gaming 69 at 10:55 said 501 subscribers. Yeah, so he pointed it out. Well done, mate. Yeah, Keith Pointer said, blimey, 500 subscribers. Wow, bloody hell.
Thank you, guys. Hopefully you enjoy my content because I do a bit of mixed stuff. I have thrown some Randonautica on and people don't like it, but it's sort of a thing to keep my channel something going. And there is some truth in my Randonautica because I found a dog's head, so I'm not lying. That's on my channel.
That's not right. Why did somebody?
It might not be a dog's head, but when I found it, the ear was on it. So I said, this looks like a spaniel head, but it can't be because I've looked at the skeletons on thingy, but I'll send you the photo because you might be able to work out for me what it is because I can't work out what it is. And I'm wondering if it was chopped off as well. So
maybe you need to get somebody from CSI, not me. I like dogs too much.
Well, I want someone to look at the skull.
Okay.
Because you probably find out a lot quicker than me because I'm not very good at things like that. I compared to what I could, and I'm like, is it a cow that's too small, a baby one? Is it a blooming lamb? But it don't look like that. Is it a bloody badger? I'm like, no, it don't look like that. So I don't know. It looked like a dog's. It had the floppy ear on it. And I took
you can probably tell by the teeth, by the canines, you know.
Dawn is really close. Let me look. It made me ill. But I went back up to have a look because I thought, is there witchcraft going on up there? Because obviously there is a lot of that goes on we don't know about.
Oh, somebody's saying maybe somebody pet. That's a good point. Maybe somebody buried their pet and an animal dug it up.
That's sad. Maybe. Yeah, but it was fresh and it had the chop. It was cut off. It was there.
Keith Pointer says, get Sam or Jess, Matt. They might know. What? They're cutting off dog heads. Is that what you're saying? I don't understand.
They might know what. Do they look at things like that?
Or you mean they're digging up shit? Is that what you mean? Anything for subscriptions, anything for views.
How can I get this up? Because my camera's crap.
Can you send that to me because that's very fuzzy?
I'm going to send it you. Yeah.
Okay. And I'm going to report you to the police then for having weird photos on your phone. So, yeah. Yeah.
No, it is weird. I to now this day, the woman told me she found something up that I found another head, but it was a deer's head, and that one a deer's head, and yes, it was a deer's. Let me do my other phone. I don't think I've got it in that phone, but I can send it you. That one's died. So what I do, I'll send it you later. You've got all, unless you want to look at it now, I can go on my other phone. But hold on, I've got too comfortable down there.
In my latest video by mistake, I've taken it off and I'm going to re-edit it.
Don't worry, I'm just trying to plug everything back in, give it a few minutes, and then I can. It made me, it's in my video because I wasn't lying. I went up that woods and it's strange. And it is a weird woods. Let me get it off my phone.
Okay.
But we carry on talking. See, that's another thing we could talk about, the stuff on the Isle of Wight where you went. There's a lot of that stuff that goes on with animals going missing and sort of them worshipping. They do a lot of that on the Isle of Wight, a lot of it. I remember when I was young, my sister's rabbits just constantly went missing and were found with their heads chopped off and things in the garden. I don't know why, but weird stuff went on, weird stuff. And I remember it when I was little. I don't know if there's anyone else that knows about all that stuff or things that go on like that. They go in the woods, don't they? And then they take the animal and use it as a sacrifice. Or let me find this bloody picture. It's on my YouTube picture.
You do hear about this stuff, but yeah.
I don't know where I've put it.
Friends of mine said they saw a load of like sort of pagans or Satanists or something walking with a goat on a lead, you know, like walking around with it, you know, like, yeah, all dressed in like white robes, like, you know, like your druidy KKK type, you know, sort of, that sort of thing, yeah.
I would have probably ran in there and gone nuts and rescued it, knowing me, got beaten up.
I don't know whether or not, you know, maybe it was a totem animal rather than they were going to do anything nasty to it. Yeah.
Oh my God, well, how am I going to get this to your phone? Because
well, you sent me, yeah, but you sent me WhatsApps earlier on, so you should be able to share it via WhatsApp.
I've got two phones. I've got one phone here with no SIM in it, and I use for editing and videos, and I've got another phone over there with loads of crap in it. But one of my phones hasn't got internet. Oh, the file's too big. I'll file you. I'm trying to send it my husband, and then what he can do is send it back to me on Facebook. Then I can send it to you.
Okay, so, yeah.
If I tell him now, let me go and tell him, send it me back. Then I can open it up on that phone, send it straight to you, and you can have a closer look at it.
Will do, yeah.
Hello?
Claire got over 100 subscribers more than me now. He was 20 ahead. This is Oxford Finest Explorer says he was 20 ahead, and she will never let me live this down. That a badger skin mat in the background. Badger.
Let me have a look. Let me try and get it to you.
Well, that thing. No, that's a piece of shit. Look at this. It's a piece of shit. This. Hang on. Let me bring up my. I can't see where I am on the chat.
Wait, I am here, everyone. I can hear
That's all right. Oop, shit. What just happened? Let me just do that. Right. No, I bought this off eBay. Thought it'd be a bit of a giggle. Right. I could wear on Explorers because it would go with the wolfy thing. But it was so shit. It was so shit and embarrassingly shit that I'm not going to wear it because it was just like, it's terrible. Look how tragic this is. The one I had was like a big puffy head with huge ears, right? But they sent me this thing and it's just rubbish, right? Right. Look, the ears flop down, right? Can you even call those ears, right? Can you even call those ears? And I'm going to walk around like that, am I? Look how shit this is. It's all over the place. It's complete shit. The one I was buying was huge and had big ears on it. And that is just shit. Does anybody want it? If anybody wants this, right, I'll send it to you free of charge. because it's so shit. They refunded me the money because I said, this is just shit. Do you know what? Do you know why it's so shit as well? Because if you've ever done any sewing in your life, right, they've sewn the fur into the hemline, into the seam line. They've sewn the fur into the seam line. Now, anyone who knows your salt, right, will tell you if you're going to sew fur like this, you can see the line. You can see the lines, yeah? What you do is you separate the fur and you comb it back, right? Then you put the two pieces together on the back. You put them together, right? And then you sew along that. And then when you pull it back in on itself, the fur pops out. These people are morons. Look at this. Look at that. Who in their right mind sewed that? It's tragic. I thought that I would go out on a wolfy explore with Angel, and I would have a wolf head on, walking out with Angel just for a bit of a giggle. Yeah. Yeah, and it's absolute tragic. It's tragic. Auction it. No.
I've just sent that.
If there's anybody who wants it, right? Because I won't wear it because I think it's an embarrassment, to be honest.
I've sent that to you, Matt. I'm just running to the loo quick. I've sent that picture. If you can get it up.
I'll get it. I'll get it up. I won't fail you. Let me just right. Oh, bloody hell! What is that? That's a bit bonkers, isn't it? Oh, I see. That's the teeth. Oh, shit. Just trying to work out where the eyes are. I really don't know what I'm looking at here. It's very bizarre. I'm not good enough on animal anatomy really to kind of know what it is I'm looking at. But anyway, it's that. If anyone can see, this is the teeth. These are teeth here. That's a bit of bone, and then this is the fur. Oh, sorry, the fur is over there. I really don't know what that is. I know that's teeth there, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, and I have no idea what all the rest of that is.
There's an ear hanging down, and
You want your pudding?
yeah, I do. You come talk so I can eat my pudding.
No, I'm going to see.
Oh, bring it up for me then. I'm coming off here in a bit.
No,
I got a funny feeling that those sort of teeth might be a sheep or something like that.
I looked at a sheep's head, but it weren't the same. But it had a long ear. It was black and white.
No, you stay on it.
Unless it was because dogs, I know from my own experience, like with my dog, they have a couple of back teeth back here, but most of it is like pointy teeth, pointy, and then the canine teeth, and these are the chewers back here. But this has a line of teeth, and a line of teeth, I got a feeling might be a cow or a sheep.
Send it
line.
to Jackie, someone said.
Send it to Jackie. Okay. I'll send it to her now.
I'd like to know, but it was a clean cut, and there's all blood over it when I found it and everything. And another one, I went on to explore, and we were climbing across a ditch, and there's a big, massive dead cow in it, and I stood there. It's massive. Oh, that frightened the life out of me. Farmer must have just thrown the bloody cow in a ditch.
Right. Somebody's asking me to come on and explore tomorrow. I was meant to go on and explore today, but do you know what? I drank so much coffee going to London and doing it. And it wasn't just the coffee, because the adrenaline was so extreme. Like I said, like I did 2 security chases and I felt a bit queasy, like stomach queasy afterwards. I had to take one of my beta blockers because I was like, I felt a bit weird. And then,
Yuck.
yeah. And then like afterwards, I mean, I do like doing it. I do like doing it, and I'm good when I'm doing it. I'm good. I'm on form. You know, I'm on form. But like we were crawling round in water. Like we were walking in water this deep, and it was pigeon shit water. It was like 50 years of pigeon shit in a load of water, and we were walking through it, and it was just the most manky shit ever. We had to walk through that to get onto the top of this building, and I think everything, like the cold, the wet, crawling on our hands and knees in cold puddles, and it's just exhaustion. Today I woke up and I was meant to go on and explore, and I just felt bad. My stomach just felt bad. I said, I'm sorry, guys. It's not really feeling up for it.
Body a break.
Yeah. So.
It's all right. He's moaning at me. Oh, I got to go to bed. He's going to bed in a minute. He said I could stay on here, but tell everybody he's going to bed. That's off Oxford's finest. So he's got work in a minute.
All right then. Well,
he can go. He's gone.
Nobody subscribes to you anyway. So see ya.
He's already trying. He needs to make more of an effort. I do everything.
Oh.
I do a lot of work behind the scenes, and do things, and he's a very intelligent guy. He talks. He's brilliant on my investigations and explores. When I'm doing my paranormal, he's not really paranormal, but he does it. He helps me focus, brings me back to my mind wanders a bit, and he's really good and helps me get good evidence sometimes. So he is good, but he's just hectic. He's very hyperactive, my husband. It was funny when he fell in that river though, because I sort of thought, yes, I've got it back on him, making me stop off at all the time on the motorways.
Keith says Oxford's bowing out because his wife has won all the subs. He's gutted. Yeah. That's what it is. He's gutted. He's going to bed now. That's it.
He's got to get up. Can't he even bought me sponge and pudding though? What's this?
Oh.
Sticky toffee pudding.
Oh, he's come back. He's come back now. Look, because he's heard we're ribbing him.
We're just talking about you. Everyone's saying that. Thanks, Lucy. Everyone's saying that you've lost. What's it you said?
Yeah, I have. Yeah.
He said.
Who wears the trousers in that house? That's all, yeah. You're going to be she's going to be employing you soon, mate. She's going to be employing you.
Thanks all. Yeah, I'll go.
Will you come
thanks everyone.
Thanks everyone. He said, "Love you all." Till next time. When he needs a shit.
Yeah. If you need any wet wipes, mate, just give me a ring. I'll
know what to buy him. If you ever want to get him a gift, everyone.
little thin man-sized pack of. The thing is, I get the baby wet wipes because they're much cheaper. You could like £1 and you get a big pack like that, you know. But you can't, you know, what you need is a little like man-sized, little wallet-sized packet of wet wipes. You know, that's what you really want, like a gentleman's.
We didn't celebrate Christmas this year. We didn't celebrate. I was too ill. I couldn't breathe. I couldn't move, breathe, couldn't do anything. So we all didn't do Christmas. I was like, fuck Christmas. I don't care about Christmas. So, you know, no one really celebrated in his house. So next year, I will make up for it with some of them baby wipes.
There we are. Baby wipes for everybody.
Maybe I should invent like a portable toilet. But where's it? What's your channel?
Hey, you got Derelict Plymouth and Earth is on your look.
If Barry's on there, I don't know who's that. Where's he? Oh,
he goes. Where are you, Bassed?
Cheers, Sam.
Where are you, Bassed? Where's your bat? Why have you got a Bassed? Where are you, Bassed? I know a good location for you. Right, they're in Oxford.
Yeah, we're Oxford. At the minute, we've not. Which
is spelled Bicester, but it's called Bicester because they can't speak.
Sticky toggy pudding.
Yeah.
No, it was cold. I don't like things cold. Nelly's heated it up in the microwave, so it's probably too hot. I don't want to burn myself. I can't.
Do you know what? I would love to have some ice cream or some sticky toffee pudding with ice cream right now. Ice cream
in the freezer if you want to pop them.
Oh. See, I never get round to buying them because I'm just like, oh.
I know
I'm gonna
what you
get
could
so
do.
fat if I eat those. I'm just gonna get like really, really
I
fat.
know where you can go. Co-op. Get some ice cream where you explored earlier.
Well, yeah. I could get some dust cream and some asbestos pudding. Yeah,
Thank
massive
you, Melissa.
building though. A really big old place. Just
Really?
empty. Yeah.
This is why I've got fat. You wouldn't believe it. The amount of weight I've put on in the last year.
I put a fair bit of weight on. People wouldn't know, like under my clothes,
No.
but like that's like there's a bit of a bloody thing going on there. Like,
The thing is, we eat it, and we say, "Oh, it don't matter. I'm active every day. I'll burn it off."
Thing with me is I can take it off quite quickly if I want to. I know that because I've done it. I'm 13 and a half stone. I went down to, was it about 10 stone not long ago? So I can take it off, but it's just like, yeah.
Like me, I can't. I sat in this house most of the day. I'm not out as much as I used to be. It's boredom. I couldn't eat for 3 weeks. I literally starved and lost about 8-9 pounds. And I was so ill from that bloody COVID. I didn't want food. Now I can't stay away from food.
I think I eat when I'm happy. Like, if I'm on an explore, I've got to have like something. I've got to eat something because I'm happy and I need some energy. So I go out and get some food. It's
He's eating roly-poly and custard. Oh, he's gonna make Matt hungry.
I tell you what I could make, but I can't be asked. I could make pancakes. I could make pancakes. Yeah, but you know what I'm going to make? Do you know what it's going to end up being? A pot noodle, because I can't be asked. That's what it's going to be. It's going to be chicken and mushroom, but I really like the curry ones, and I really like it's like a Chinese one or something, but you can't get them.
Not the one we had on the fort.
Yeah, that's right. It was the one. What was it called? It was like Chinese something. Yeah, and they were really nice. Because that is
in the blue. In the blue one, sweet
like
and sour.
Aquamarine. I think it's the same color as my eyes. Look.
They are blue. Mine are blue. Well,
Aquamarine.
But who have we got on there? Oh, Jammy Dodgers.
Fat Blokes says hi, both of you.
Hello.
Are you trying to say is that your name, or are you just trying to say we're fat? Fat Blokes, hi, both of you. No, I think it's his name. Fat Blokes.
I'd like to ask. Hold on, I've got a question here.
Yeah, warmed up chicken curry. Yeah. Do you know what I like doing? I like making a big saucepan of curry, veggie curry, like corn pieces, and I like it to be really hot. I like spicy stuff. And then I like put it in the fridge so I can have it over a few days, a little bit. But I just like to get a bit of bread and put a couple of bits of curry in there and just like nom. That's wonderful.
I like crisp sandwiches.
Crisp sandwiches, yeah. And I love chip butties. Like, I don't always do it, but make a few extra chips, get a bit of bread, bit of butter. Butter's important. And then, like, wham them in there. And it's just like the taste of a chip butty is just like, oh, it's just so amazing.
Do you know what I find interesting on the explores? The food you find, the old tins of the old food back from 40, 50 years ago, and you find them. That you haven't seen.
I never eat that shit. What's wrong with you? I wouldn't. I just, if it's past its date, leave it alone. What's wrong with you?
No, I wouldn't eat it, but I find it and think it's fascinating. The packaging. Oh no, we've got a visitor.
Yeah.
Hello, come here.
Craig Button's online. He goes like proper chip butty. He knows.
My dog's just come in the room, by the way. Can you turn the telly down? Do you know where your tablet is?
Should we see a doggy? Can she come on? Or
I get my son. I'm gonna just get his medication. Hold on. Let me
okay. Oh, baby. Oh,
No, that she can't come in my bed, but she ran upstairs.
Oh, baby, you run away. You run away, you baby. Why you run away? Baby runs away.
She's naughty.
Baby runs away. I like her Ewok ears as well.
Yeah, she's got massive ears.
Ewok ears, yeah. That's proper Yoda territory, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's a little shit.
She's a little shit. The little shitheads of Stonehenge.
Yeah, all she does is run away.
Oh.
She doesn't listen to anyone.
Have you does she know if you, because I never say the word treat with beginning with TREAT unless they're going to get one, because I think if you convince them that when they hear that word they're always going to get one, they come running. It just convinces them. It's just like, forget everything. I know what I want most. It's always food, isn't it?
Yeah. As soon as I say that, her ears are gone. If I say treat, she'll just look at me.
Yeah. They want it, don't they? That's it. If I crinkle that packet, or if I say treaties, that's all I've said now. I've introduced that word. Let's see whether it's enough. It's listening out there, probably. So if I say that, she'll probably come now in a minute.
I'm trying to find it.
Yeah, she is trying to find medication.
What's your dog's name again?
Say hi.
Pardon?
What's your dog's name again?
Bella.
Bella.
Yeah.
Bella. See, she's living in a world of where's the next treat coming from. See, that's you can tell. You can see she's like, where's the next treat coming from? Where's the next treat?
Yeah.
Yeah.
In the bed.
Right,
Claire's coming back.
She's took over the channel. The dog's taken over, everybody.
Yeah.
Eat my sticky toffee pudding.
From Tweeties. She didn't come from just the one word, so she must have been half asleep.
She ran off earlier. The neighbour had her in her house. I didn't even know it was our dog. They live along in a private house. And we were calling her in the street, and he come out and said, "Is this your dog?" Yeah, she was really. I think you met her last time, Matt. You were here because she kept in a cage for 9 months of her life, never let out. 8 cats running around, had no stimulation, and nothing. And when I got her, she cost me 35 quid. I took her off my daughter because I just thought I can't leave a dog like that. And then my husband said to me, "What have you just done?" I said, "I bought a dog." We've had her 3 years. But she's cost me a few vet bills as well from cutting her leg open and things like that. But I love having her. I wouldn't be without her.
Yeah, I'm not. I don't agree with keeping them in cages and stuff, And
I've got a cage, but when I got her, I left her in my kitchen, and never again. I went to college. I came back. She got out the kitchen, chewed the door, took everything off my sides, jumped up, everything was on the floor. She'd ripped all my wallpaper off up the stairs. My house looked like it had been burgled. I don't know what she did. But I let her out a few times, and then she was just ripping bits and bobs. But now she doesn't need to go in it. But if I go for a long day out or somewhere, I take the cage, just run in my car, because she feels safer in the cage in the back. But I don't use it. She's a good dog, like your dog. She's a good little dog.
Mine hasn't responded. I said treats a couple of times. Oh, you don't want any treats then? Do you want any treats?
How is she now over from the other night? Got over it?
Yeah, I mean, she's all right. She's okay.
Away.
I mean, she cried when she got back in the car with me, and then she was a bit sort of like, oh, this upset me, sort of like a bit shaky, But I think the trouble is when you put them in a kennels, I mean, they're just barking and screaming all night, and they in the kennels. It's just horrible.
I'd be stressed. I couldn't cope with that.
Yeah, they said shake the packet. She hasn't responded. Do you want Tweeties? Do you want Tweeties? Do you want some Tweeties? She
looked very tired.
When?
Your dog did earlier. Looked really tired.
Oh, it's probably because I woke her up. you know, she's like a phone when it's in standby. You know, she's like I'm asleep now, and then she's like, ooh, you mentioned treats. I got to crinkle a bag of treats. She gonna come?
Don't worry, Melissa.
Want some treaties?
On.
There we are. She's coming. See, so she can tell, like, if we're in a conversation, and she can tell sort of like she's listening, even though you think they're not. Like, she is. It's like we're having a conversation and she's like, treaties, you know, do you want a treaties? And she's listening. They look like they're asleep. But they're not really. You know, they're just listening all the time. They're constantly listening. Hey, for treats. Oh, sorry, you can't see her. There she is. Yeah, she is a bit tired, and she's got a bit of snot on her eye. Hey, come here.
She's got a whoopy eye.
Yeah, she's getting a bit more weepy as she's getting older. You know. What is this then?
What treats are they then? Because I've been told to be really careful what I give my dog, because it can block them up.
Yeah, well, this is the thing. See, my dad goes buying cheap stuff, and I do say, like, I'd rather know where it's coming from because, you know, you get stuff. Now, watch now. If you say, like, you can have it, she'll go like, no, I do. I'm a good girl. I wouldn't do that. You go, have it. Go on, have it. Have it. She's like, no, I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't do that. I am a good girl. I am good. Go on, have it. Go on, stick your nose in there and have it. She goes, no. She's like, no, I wouldn't do it. But if I give it to you, you'll have it. Yeah.
That is so funny.
Yeah, I've never, like, told her off for, like, sticking her head in anything. But she's like, no, I'm far too polite. I wouldn't do that. But if you leave the car and there's food, she'll go in the bag and have it. Because you're not there. But, but when you're there, she's like, me? I would never do that. Me? You think I would do this? Look,
she's gone. Look.
The treats are gone. She's gone.
See you later.
Like, hey, come here. Look. Right, come here.
Oh.
Right, look. Right. Show the people. Sit down. Show the people what it looks like when you were a real wolf. Look. Yeah.
Is there any men online that need a Valentine's gift for a woman on here, by the way? Oh, look.
She's a real wolf now. She's like, get it off me. Get off me.
Is there loads of men watching, Matt?
I don't know, probably.
I make Valentine's hampers. I've got Valentine's hamper I made, and I've got to raffle it off. And I haven't put it up. And I've got a raffle I could do for £1 a ticket, and I've got this massive thing. It's massive. It's downstairs. It's a big Valentine's basket I made, but I don't know if anyone would be interested in it. So I would have put my PayPal and said, if you want to go on the raffle, £1 to go, write your name, and it'll go in a dip.
Well, I can. I want to see it. See if anybody wants to, like, you know, see if anybody would be.
Raffle it.
No, they can have it. They can have it. I don't want to raffle it because I don't exactly need the money. But, like, you know, if somebody wants it, they can have it.
You should raffle it, the money, and put it towards a charity. There we are.
Yeah, okay. Well, we could raffle it and put the money towards Sea Shepherd, which is what I normally do. But it's not very good, though.
That looks funny on the dog.
It's not. I mean, look what they've done. They've stitched the fur into the seam. You're meant to, like, put the fur out and then stitch it, so the fur it becomes invisible. But they've stitched the fur in. It's actually,
how much was that?
I know, it was like 18 quid, but it looked really good in the photos. It was like a big pom-pom head with big wolf ears, so it looked like a mascot type thing, you know. And then they sent this pathetic little thing, and I was just like, you can fuck right off. Excuse my language. I was like, no fucking way.
You should wear it. You should wear it to that explore where you were doing the drones, and the woman and man.
Oh, that thing. Yeah.
You should put it on your head and crawl across the field. They think you're a fox.
Yeah. Well, he'd probably pull out his fictional shotgun, and that he's kind of got. That he said, "Oh no, I don't have a shotgun." Afterwards, yeah.
Funny.
Little bugger. Well, I suppose it's getting fairly late now. I'm thinking
it's 11:30.
I'm thinking of getting me footage of. Oh, hang on, I have got my footage. I've already taken out of here. Get my footage out of that, and maybe I'm not going to edit it tonight. I'm going to go to bed now. I'm going to watch Cobra Kai. I don't know if you know about that.
Send me the links. I'll watch anything you send.
Cobra Kai. It's a TV series. It was on YouTube. YouTube made it, but it's the Karate Kid. It's the follow-on from the Karate Kid.
I remember
So it's
that.
like when they grow up, so they were kids, but now they're like 30, 40 years of age, and it's what happens to them when they grow up. So it's that. But yeah, I've just been watching a few of those recently. So that might be
good.
Yeah, I'm going to get to bed with that, and then I'll wake up nice and fresh in the morning. Oh, wake up.
Thank you ever so much for coming.
Start editing the British Airways Part 2. Which is going to be much more easy to see, because it's more light. So it'll look nice. It'll look nice and sharp.
So, since when have you been? There's so many comments, I can't read them all. They're going blah, blah.
Blah, 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 blah. They're going blah, blah, blah.
Something to do with making original content. I caught it today on the homepage. I don't know.
Ooh, right. Okay. So now I've got to copy that footage in off the card. So we go.
What I do, because I want to ask you how to. Well, I've got to sort out this computer so I can get the stuff off the GoPro on it. I can't do it. I'm on the computer now. All I could do is put it on my phone. It takes about an hour. I'll do it one day. I'll sort it all out. But I'm going to let you know.
Get yourself a USB cable and plug it into the computer.
I've got the cable you sent me. I bought the little thing. The one with you sent me one. I've got that.
Did I send you a cable?
No, you sent me a link
for it.
By the little thing to put the card in.
I was going to say, did I send you a cable?
Yeah. Should I pretend you did? Yeah, you did.
Yay.
No, you did. You sent me the cable links for it was.
Right. Yeah.
Right. So I'll let you go. Bye, Luke.
On some machines, you have to install drivers, but on most of them, most of the modern machines will just see the device, and then you'll be in. That's it.
But hopefully we'll have a chat again. I can come over to you maybe or something.
Yay.
But, find something to talk about. I'd like to. I like the UFO stuff, but people don't like it, and people do. But that's another one.
Yeah, well, I'm around a lot. I haven't got much happening.
I'm going to actually punish him and set him up one day with you. Just put the screen on, put it in front of him. Go, there you are. There's your life. I've got passwords on my computer, so I can set it all up for him.
Yeah, I'm just looking at this area. Look, I'm sharing my screen now. Look, I'm sharing my screen. So
how do you do that?
Well, down at the bottom where you say mute.
Do I have it on?
Well, see it? Yeah, there we go. Right now, this is.
How do you do that?
That's my footage from earlier on. Look.
Stay and watch this for a bit, everyone.
There we are. Look, this is co-op. This is co-op.
Oh, no ice cream for you, then.
Yeah. Look, and then I walking around. Oh, look! I found the roof. Walking around on the roof. Yeah. So a little bit of a sneak preview to make them come over to your channel, so they get to see some exclusive stuff. There we are.
I'm going to get David to come on with you one night because he's really intelligent and more than what I am, and he'd be a good chap because he knows his stuff. He don't show it, and he's shy, even though he's on camera and he's an absolute loop. He's quite clever when it comes to stuff about things. He starts rolling his tongue off to me, and I'm like, that. Where did you get that from? He's just very clever. I'm not. I'm common as fuck is the word.
One day I will tell you where I got that from. One day. One day you will know. There we are. So yeah. We shall come on and we will have a chat with your friend David then.
Yeah, we'll get him on camera shy. I'll send him that wolf's thing. I'll put it on his head, cover him up.
All right, okay, yeah. But
yeah,
will he wear it though? After the fact, will he wear it?
Well, we could bribe him.
Yeah. I think we need to give it to somebody who's so simple they'd wear it all the time. That would be worth it then, yeah.
That'd be me. No, my husband
Nominate
would.
somebody who's so simple they'll wear that continuously, and we will go. Well done. Yeah.
You could wear that then. Do a charity. You should put it up and ask money for a charity.
Indeed.
Then it's gone for some good cause, and give it the charity too.
Yeah, sell it all for charity. I will. You know, if I could make money out of some of these things, it would be probably worth like selling for charity. You know, yeah.
Well, if there's everyone watching your live and you put that up and you ask for £1, that'd be like now 126 quid for a charity.
That's true. I haven't thought about this actually, but you make a good point. Because I've avoided doing merch in the past, but maybe if I did merch, but instead of the money going towards the explorers, I do it for like Sea Shepherd, which is the charity I support, and then we say, look, you know, we don't normally do this, but if you want to have a T-shirt, because everyone keeps on going, I want T-shirts, I want this. We say, look, you know, we'll do it for charity then. So okay, we'll do T-shirts, but the money doesn't go from me. You know, it'll go to Sea Shepherd. But the thing is, it's such a ball ache, isn't it? Having to do like bloody sending out T-shirts.
Do it as a one-off.
Yeah, do it as a one-off. You know, and we'll get them to order. So we'll order the exact amount that you know. The only reason I'm worried about it is in case anybody goes, I don't like it, I want to return it. And it's like, oh, what do you do then?
It'd be non-refundable, nothing.
Yeah. If you're a large and you bought a small, it's your fault. We do Apple like
Wear
Apple do.
It's
not my fault. It's your fault. Yeah.
Wrap it around your head. Wrap it around your head or your arm or your foot or.
That's it. Yeah. Oh.
Put it on your dog. Put it on your dog. I put T-shirts on my dog sometimes just to keep her warm. I tried to do it because she didn't have a coat to take her out on. I tried to put a T-shirt on her. It looked quite funny.
Bloody hell. Sam Lloyd says they've got 2 labs and got 3 used to rehome lads over 3 years. My house has rehomed 43 labs. Oh, I really like Labradors, and it was the first dog I ever had was a Labrador. Most intelligent dog, amazing, really intelligent, and
They are good idea. Why not?
They are great dogs, but I don't know. I just went for like these bloody nutcases, these bloody Malamutes, and you kind of grow used to their characters. So I went and got another one, but it's such a pain in the ass because they're so antisocial with other dogs. I wish I just had a Labrador that would just like go and be like, hello, I'm a happy Labrador. Shall we have a sniff and a play? This one's like, I'm a Malamute. Should we have a play? No, I'm going to kill you. It's like, yeah. It's like, do you like being killed? This is how I play. I kill you. It's like, oh, God. Yeah.
You see that? Barry Little just said he could do the merch.
Well, he could actually. I mean, there we are. But I've heard about this. Barry does offer a service to kind of like do merch.
I've got to get stuff him. I changed my name about 20 times, so he never managed to do it, did you, Barry?
Yeah. Well, you spelled your name wrong, and he was like, no returns.
No, I changed my name. I went from one name to another because I didn't like it, and I'm still like, I still don't like that. It's Paranormal 666 now. It was the Paranormal Explorer 666. Then it was Kindred Warriors. Then it was Band and Lost Souls. And, I'm sticking at Paranormal 666. It's short. It's quick. Oh, what's your name? Paranormal 666. Not, the Band and Lost. No. So we stay at that. But, yeah, Barry, that's what I did my merch.
Well, maybe if we do something like that, I would rather do merch for like a charity, so it's not because people do say like you're just in it for the money and all this sort of shit, and it's not really. I really am not. Like, I've been doing this like exploring lark for like 20 years, and only in the last year have I bothered to put videos on YouTube, and I'm surprised they're doing so well. So it is not about the money. It's like it's stuff I've done for a long time. But I'm just really. I tell you what I do it for is to see people enjoying it. That's why I do it for. But if people wanted the merch and it could actually benefit one of the charities that I'm interested in, rather than necessarily being a direct thing for me, that would be cool. I'd actually that would be more my sort of thing, because I'm a bit weird as well. Like the thought of people walking around in gear that's got like truth seekers and like, you know, I'm an urbex and I'm wearing the truth seeker gear. It's like, yeah.
Some people love it.
Some people love it. It's just I find it a little bit weird because I don't really like mainstream fashion things and names and logos and names of things. You know, other people do. I don't. I really think it's like, oh God. You know,
someone said give it to Taffy.
Put it like this: if it got too popular, I would have to stop it. If it got too popular, I just wouldn't be able to. I'd be like, nah, no, not having that. It's like
off, like once a year thing you do. Someone just said that on here. Yeah. Then it isn't too much, is it? And you've done your bit for you.
Hey, Steve-O says, I'm not up for that, Matt. Not got any merch off anyone, but I would for you. Well, there we are, you see. If you knew that it wasn't directly benefiting me, then I would like that because it would be like, yeah, you're helping Sea Shepherd. So therefore, that is my charity. You're helping them. Fair enough. I would feel better about that. But what I don't like is the idea that they're all like my Urbex army wearing gear, like, you know, like the Urbex, the secret vault. And it's like, nah.
But it'd be your luck. That night you'll get so many views, there'll be so many people buy it, you won't be able to walk down the street without seeing one.
Wow. What would be really weird would be like walking around somewhere like totally random where you've not told anyone's going to be and seeing somebody wearing one of your t-shirts would be the weirdest shit. That would be really weird. Can you imagine doing that? Like going to somewhere like random or even in another country and seeing somebody wearing something that like came from you.
You just go down to the seaside for the day out and they're all wearing it walking past.
Yeah, or even weirder that China started like ripping them off and like, you know, just producing them and it had nothing to do with you, and it was like, and you could tell that's not mine, that's the rip-off one. What the yeah, then it would be like, what?
That's the sort of thing would bloody happen as well.
Yeah.
Right. I'm going to let you go, Matt. People are still here with us, though. No one's really left. 125
watching now. Should we do a refresh? Should we do a refresh? 509 it was.
I haven't looked.
516, 516.
Wow.
Well, there you go. That's amazing. On that note, before they all start subtracting them and disappearing, I'm going to leave. So we'll leave it on this note. I don't want to subtract now, so I'm not going to stay. We'll leave whilst we're ahead. That's all I'm going to say. Leave before the security's caught us. We're going to leave whilst we're ahead.
Yeah, that's good. Thank you for the moderators tonight. I threw on. They've been on there for a bit anyway.
Thanks, Lucifer and Barry and anyone else who's been there. Yeah, because I've I did notice there were a few weird comments came in earlier on. They've obviously come off. They've come over from mine, but they're people I might have banned in the past here, I suppose, some of them, and they've come over here to go. You know,
I thought, why are you writing that? It don't bother me. Let's write it.
It's like people like do write some stuff, don't they? Weird.
I just ignore it, put it up, and think, oh well, don't really care.
It's like, you know, be positive, and people will respond. Be negative. It's only going to go one way, innit? It's only going to go one way. If you're going to be negative, nobody's going to want to hear that. Yeah.
Right. Still everyone's there. They've gone nowhere.
Look, I'm going to charge up my drone. My drone. Oh. Look, here's my drone. I'm going to charge up my drone, and I'm going to go out and put on some Cobra Kai. I'm going to fire up a pot noodle for the win. Yeah. Right.
Thank you, Matt. Over.
And that pot noodle is going to go down really well, and three pints of beer, and I'm anyone's.
You're asleep.
Yeah, and we're going to go to bed before the credits have even rolled on, probably Cobra Kai. I'm going to be asleep. Yeah. But tomorrow, new day, I'm going to be up bright and fresh. I'm going to be editing the first second part of the Heathrow. Or I could make everyone sweat, and I could put another small one to like co-op, and they'll go, "No, why is he putting a co-op out there when we all want to see the Heathrow one?" And it's like, yeah. So I could throw him a curveball, be like, "Dana, I know you want Heathrow, but here, have a co-op in the middle." Evil Dr. Matt. Evil Dr. Matt.
Yeah, I've had loads of people on tonight. It's been brilliant. Thank you ever so much, Matt. You've helped me loads. As I say, I've got let down tonight. I am rescheduling. If you watch Ghost Adventures, if anyone's into that, I've got someone that works alongside Zach Bagans. He's going to come on. He's done a Kennedy Mind. There was a tragedy that went on there. That was that we were going to talk about, and some experiences he had, and that's going to be rescheduled. Is going to get that back on, hopefully.
If all your letdowns are as successful as this, I would say you need to be let down some more.
I ask him not to, don't say that. It'll happen again. I'll be like, Matt. And I know that, like, Garry that come on here, help me anytime. He's a good friend. I've met doing paranormal. I know that your true friends out there.
I mean, those 100 subscribers means that you're going to get so many more people come back to watch more of your videos in the future. I mean, that to me is such
I'm not famous in the paranormal, but I'm known by a few people. I'm quiet. I don't tend to get involved much because it can get some people are not very nice, and I just do my own thing in my own little world, and I know my good friends. I know who to talk to, not to talk to, and I think that's the way it's meant to be. I'm happy. I don't need it, to be honest. I don't want to be famous in the paranormal world because that would be awful, but as I say, I enjoy exploring, and I love exploring, and it's like open doors for me.
And I enjoy pouring hot wax onto my hand and then going, ah!
What's that for?
I don't know. Hot wax. Don't you ever do that? And it's like it's hot enough to hurt.
No,
but it's not.
I did beauty therapy, but we use that for waxing, Matt. I'm trained level 2 in beauty therapy, yeah. But it helps you if you have dry hair. It can help.
I've always loved pouring a hot candle onto myself and burning myself. It feels nice,
doesn't it? Yeah, I know that feeling.
It's not quite hard enough to hurt you really badly, but.
Why don't you get a wax machine? I've got one.
I've tipped it all on my bloody my trousers now. You're going to see the stains in the trousers for ages now.
Not honey wax. I don't get the.
I don't know. It's like a candle in a jar thing, It's quite,
but it's really good for your hands.
It's quite soft, actually.
I know what to buy you.
It's more like oil than wax, because wax would go hard, and this is more like oil.
You need proper hand wax.
Okay.
No, on beauty therapy.
Wrong. Sounded wrong. I need hand wax.
You get the brush. What you do, you heat the wax. I'll give you a tip because I've done beauty therapy.
Right.
You tip it over you. Just get a little thick paintbrush. It is little one about this thick, and then you paint it on your hands, and it just won't make much mess.
I'm going to go wash my hands now because it's starting to congeal now. Look,
I actually love that sort of stuff.
I know it's weird.
We have a lesson as well.
I love wax. Yeah.
You're going to get loads of wax sent to you in the post now.
Do you know what I also like? I haven't done it in ages. Is copy decks or is it called copy decks or it's called what's it called now? That stuff. It's called Evo Stick. Evo Stick is.
Oh, I won't stick that on me.
Yeah, but if you stick Evo Stick on you, it dries and it's like latex rubber. And then what you can do is if you put it on your face, you can peel it off and it like pulls all the grease and stuff off your face.
I want some of that. Send me the link.
But what you can also do as well is you can put it on your face and then you can squeeze bits of your face together and it all sticks together. So you end up looking like an old man, like with loads of creases. So you end up, it's like makeup, it's like a weird sort of makeup type of thing.
That's what you do in your spare time now.
I haven't done that for years, but I used to do this.
You dress up in fur coats, fox things, whatever it was. Wolf.
Mm.
Put wax on your palms and now put stuff on your face.
Yeah,
I'd
I've
like
got
to be a fly on your wall when no one's there.
I got a squirrel costume. Like I've been out like squirrel, like running around like, sort of like an idiot. It's sort of, when they do the Husey Carnival at carnivals and things like that.
Oh
yeah.
my goodness.
Yeah, I get a bit over energetic sometimes. Yeah.
I need to see this. That squirrel outfit.
The squirrel outfit.
God. You need to do a charity like wearing that. That's it now.
Yeah. But I had some mean kids nick my head off my squirrel thing and ran away with it. So I like ran after them, and then they were cowering. They were cowering on the floor like this. It was like, "Here, have it back." And I said, "Look, I said to them, do you steal Mickey Mouse's head in Disneyland? Stop being an arsehole." I said, "Just give it back."
Someone just wrote something on here. Secret squirrel explore.
Oh yeah.
That is funny. But we need to go.
I do like dressing up in weird things. I've got like some weird costumes in the cupboard over there, like my Gandalf the Great, Gandalf the White Wizard costume and weird things. Yeah. In fact,
I definitely need to be a fly on your wall now.
Yeah. But I definitely need to be go into the bathroom and washing this shit off now because it's now no longer fun. It's no fun anymore. Yeah. It's no fun anymore.
Now as well.
Yeah. Right. I can't touch anything now because anything I touch is getting impregnated with wax. So.
Can I send you off, remove you, and let you go?
Remove me. Remove me, baby.
And I'm going, everybody. So thank you ever so much.
I could probably get rid of it. Yeah. Okay. See you then. All the best. Thanks for coming in. Thank you for subscribing. There's still time to subscribe. Subscribe to
Nutty.
Nutty.
Right. Thank you, Matt. I really appreciate it. Find out what that head is.
All the best. Find out what the head is. I will. Whatever that means, but I will. Cheers. Bye.
Bye, everyone. I'm ending it. Thank you ever so much, everyone, for coming over. Hopefully Matt won't dress up as a squirrel on the next live. We should make him. Anyway, take care, everyone. Thanks, Urban Legend UK, as well, for coming over. All of you guys, I can't even read all your names, but I am going to be getting out to do some stuff as soon as I can. I've got a few videos at How Back of Paranormal. I actually, where I've been so ill, it's hard getting my energy back up, but I will get there. I will throw anything up I can. I might do a raffle in a few days. I was going to raffle off a Ouija board one time, but we never know who's going to want that. But thank you for coming over. I'm going to go. Stay safe, everybody, because that virus is real. Even people say it isn't. I've had it. I couldn't breathe, even though, I got better, but some people just don't make it. I think that's it. Hopefully Matt won't be dressed up as a squirrel tomorrow. So everybody, I'm going to end it now. Take care. Thank you ever so much. And I really appreciate it. You coming over tonight to watch. You've made my day. And remember, subscribe to Oxford Finest as well. He's nuts, but he's funny. Nuts like the squirrel. Right. Bye, everyone. Take care. Speak soon. And we're off.